Season 2! And I can't see daisy, it's all crazy in the town. Sitting on the guru, ふらふら夜に絡みついた話すことは腐っていたさよの常識も君を持たないお互いにさよならAnd I didn't see it さすがにクレイジーな計画を保つぐるぐるぐるぐると世界は変わらず回っていた君の視線が親子手つけるマリオネットの画像に気づいてしまったSorry. I didn't have my OBS open because I was talking to Astra. Hi Chad, good morning fellas and welcome to the stream. This is your Kiko speaking and I hope you're ready to hear some unrestrained rambling and unabashed character appreciation. Because you're gonna play Lynette's story quest today. Okay, I'm gonna mute. We have Linny right here and of course Lynette. Oh, okay. I'm very nervous. I'm very, very nervous for the stream. Well, first of all, because I know Linny's gonna be here. And secondly, because I'm kind of low energy. I'm super nervous. I've been looking forward to learning more about Lynette for a while. So I'm just going to take my time mentally preparing myself. I don't really know what to expect. I'm hoping that we get to address some of the yeah, that's just how he is, Lynette. You know, I wanna learn more about her. I wanna learn more about how she feels about her traumatic experiences, especially because hear a lot of people say that they kind of put more attention to Linny than the actual person who got traumatized during like the Archon quest, and like yes, that's true, but it might be because Lynette doesn't want to talk about it, you know? Like if you look at the kind of person Lynette is, she wouldn't really want to open up to someone like us about something like that. Linny only told us because he wanted us to understand where he's coming from, so I'm excited to learn more about her. And yes, Linny is my favorite character, next to Venti in this game. So if I freak out inappropriately, like not inappropriately, like if I freak out and inappropriate amount compared to like the character who I'm actually playing the quest of today. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I love Lenny so much. Okay. So, okay. Let's just unlock it. I am also aware that we're going to be playing Arlecchino's story quest soon, and no, I'm not ready for that either. If you hear any meowing sounds, that's my cat in the background, and that's my silly cat. I'm so nervous, chat. Why am I so nervous for? This is stupid. Spend story key to unlock checks and cats. Okay. Let's start. Okay, we're going to Hotel de Board. It's right over there. I mean, I know that that's probably going to be one of the routes, and then maybe we're going to find out why she acts like a robot. She has like standby modes and stuff, and then maybe she's going to take us to one of her favorite places, and she's going to make us, you know, spend all our money on dessert. I don't know. I'm looking forward to spending time with Lynette today. The thumbnail is temporary. I'm going to be drawing something else. Oh, there she is. Oh my god, she's with a cat! She's with a cat! That's so cute! Hi, Lynette. It's a little kitty! Is the volume good, by the way? Let me know. Game volume good? Am I too loud? Is the game volume too quiet? Aww! This is already starting off very adorable. I'm sorry, oh my god, she even reacts like a startled cat. Is someone out to kidnap you? I just realized that the game audio is muted. Moment, oops.
Then snuck away so I could switch to standby mode.
Okay, my bad. The dialogue caption is honestly messed up. Did you guys not hear the audio before this? Astra, you couldn't hear the audio and you didn't say anything? You literally hate me. I see, so they sent someone to find you and bring you back, but why?
Probably because I'm playing the lead role in the show.
The lead role?
Is that so surprising? I'm always getting invitations to do solo performances. I just usually get Linny to write back and turn them down.
Linny mentioned.
But then came the Fontanalia Film Festival. We took all the kids from the House of the Hearth out to see a film, and after it finished, they all started clamoring for me to try out acting for some reason. Even Linny was chanting along with them.
It's so cute.
Anyway, it just so happened that a director called Mary who had sent me an invitation right around then. I'll spare you the details, but basically, I ended up accepting it.
So this is the dramatic debut of the magician's puppet, huh?
Yep, you nailed it. I'm playing the role of a puppet.
That's literally perfect for you. You barely even have to act.
In fact, the show's called The Lost Puppet,
Ooh.
and it's a masked mime show. So I don't have to do any facial expressions or say any lines. Literally just a series of physical movements. The director says it's a very avant-garde art form.
I like the way she says that. Also, Astra, let me know if the volume's good, if the game is too loud, or if I'm too quiet, vice versa. That does sound pretty that does sound pretty avant-garde, but can people understand the plot?
Art is not comprehended by the mind, but felt in the heart. At least, that's what the director says. Anyway, if nothing else, the opening performance seemed to go down well.
I'm a little quiet? Okay, what about now? Is this better? Boo 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 boo.
At the drinks reception, everyone was crowding around me, saying, "Triumphant character portrayal, faithful adaptation of the original work, unequivocally, quintessentially avant-garde, and stuff like that. But being the center of attention is draining. So the moment they left me to go harass the director instead, I was out of there.
For once, you weren't able to use Lenny as a human shield.
The other thing is, some weird things happened while I was on the stage. Oh, sorry, Bonnie. I didn't mean to leave you out of the conversation. My bad.
Hello, Bonnie. I take it Bonnie's your pet cat?
No, we just met. We bumped into each other right after I slipped away.
And you already named her?
Well, it'd be kind of difficult for us to communicate otherwise. Besides, I think she's taken a liking to the name. Haven't you, Bonnie?
Oh, little sweetie.
Yeah, that's right. Good kitty. We'll go find your owner soon, I promise.
Owner? Not a stray cat then?
Nope. She's wearing a collar, and for the most part, she's pretty well groomed. If she is a stray, she hasn't been for long. Her stomach's been growling a lot. I guess she must have been missing for a few days now. As much as I'd love to hang out with her for a while longer, her owner's probably worried sick about her. Assuming she has an owner, that is. But the reception... I should probably show my face there again at some point. Even if it's just to make excuses and leave again. Decision time.
Let's bail. Is this a tough decision for you?
Well, I just find it exhausting. Thinking through all the different ramifications of different choices and so on. That's more Lenny's area than mine. So, unless it's something really important, I usually just leave the decision-making to him.
Lenny likes playing Otome games. But for once, he's not here when you need him. But that doesn't happen often.
It's fine. He got Feminate to make me a little something for just this situation. Poof! A phaetometer.
Oh, what's this?
It looks pretty over the top, I know. But it's essentially just a box of cards. He kept the design simple, so it'd be harder to break. The way it works is, I pick a card at random, then look at the number on the card.
And how does that help you make a decision?
Well, for example, if the number on the card is 5 or higher, I help Bonnie find her owner. If it's less than 5, I go back to the reception.
It's like D&D. Simple and straightforward.
I just have to believe in the bond between me and my cards, and my fate will reveal itself to me in numerical form. At least, that's what Lenny said. Anyway, I guess I'll give you a demonstration.
Okay. Is the volume good now?
Huh. I didn't like that. Was I using it wrong? Maybe if I just...
Lynette smacks the card box all the... Oh.
Clearly, there's some design flaws to iron out. I'll have to let Fremine know.
I feel like maybe this wasn't a design issue.
Let's see... Which card did I get? 4.
Less than 5, so that means no helping Bonnie.
Well, the cards fell on the ground though, so I don't think it counts as fate. If you want to get the right answer, you have to let fate decide. Also something Lenny said. So, to put it another way, if picking a card up off the ground is how to not leave it to fate, then that means it must be the wrong answer.
I think what Linny meant is sometimes you have to accept the answer you didn't want.
Or... Why don't you pick a card? Since I ran into you here, that means... our fates are, like, interfering with each other.
You should leave the razzle-dazzling to Linny. Alright, I'll pick another card for you. I'll pick another card for her.
Thank you. This one is final, I promise. Here, take the phaetometer. If it's 5 or above, that means fate successfully changed. Anything lower than 5 is a fail. Also, if you have your own thoughts about what I should do, feel free to share it. Now that I've got a good problem solver here to help, I don't need to run every little thing by fate.
I want to ditch. But since this is a game mechanic, I want to check it out. Fatometer. I'm not sure. Let's leave this one to fate.
Alright. Then let's see where fate will lead me.
Ooh! The random checks triggered by the Fatometer often serve as indicators for a destiny's course or the success of failure or an action. First to draw a card and get a random number between 1 and 20. It's literally D&D. If the number displayed is greater than or equal to the check difficulty, you will pass this check, otherwise you will fail it. This is so cool. I'm glad that they made this just for Lynette. I miss Lynette so much, actually. She doesn't get a lot of dialogue in our conquest. Exactly. She doesn't talk because she doesn't have to. And she doesn't want to talk. Okay. Adequate preparation and friendly aid can sometimes affect the result of these checks, so your current check bonuses will add to your randomly drawn number. Okay, I want her to ditch, so let's see. Hey, that's pretty good!
So, we're looking for Bonnie's owner?
I have to ask about this deck of cards.
There's 20 cards in total, numbered 1 to 20. So there's only a 1 in 5 chance of drawing less than a 5. I should also mention, this time the cutoff was 5, but I just said that to wherever I feel like.
Wow, you really don't want to go back to that reception party.
To put it in perspective, I said I'd only do the show if I drew a 1. Fate can be pretty sneaky sometimes.
Aww. So how do you plan to find Bonnie's owner?
I think I'll go to the Steambird and see about putting an ad in the paper. You wanna come along? I think Bonnie wants you to come with.
Can you imagine if, like, you have to roll a d20 every time that you make any kind of decision? Sure, if it means I get to hang out with you a little bit longer. I love Bonnie. Bonnie's so cute. Bonnie kind of sounds like my cat. Oh, we get the Fatometer! Very cool. Okay, we're going to Steambird now. I like the Fatometer, game mechanic. I think this is the first time I've seen, like, a little mini game be created just for, like, a hangout, which is cool. I hope they do that more in the future. Ooh, they should have one for Fremi.
Every stupendous day starts with a Steambird. Oh, hi Lynette. Hi Traveler. What can I help you with?
Any commissions in there about a missing cat?
I don't think so. Have you picked up a stray?
Yep. If there's no commission to follow up on, could we post a notice about the missing cat instead?
Lynette starts eating. Lynette's son's eating good. Linny already has contact. I said Fremine. Where did I say Linny?
Why, of course. What a kind thing to do. Just fill out the form.
Well, we've registered you as missing. You can stay at my place until your owner finds you.
I don't want to Lenny hang out. That would be too, like, that would genuinely be too much for me. And I don't mind that we don't know everything about him. I feel like that leaves a bit of mystery for us to discover. So why would I want a Lenny hang out? You literally hate me. I literally said Fremine.
Also, I just wanted to say thanks for keeping us company for so long.
Well, I've only been here for like 10 minutes.
Well, I should probably head back to the drinks reception. Hopefully most of the people have left by now. If you've got some time, you should stop by my place tomorrow to see Bonnie. There's a nice cup of tea in it for you.
I'll be there.
Alright, see you then.
She's already inviting me over. Okay, Linny, look away. Linny, look away. Look away real quick, Linny. Oh, I'm deaf, sorry. You literally hate me. Okay.
I believe this cat belongs to me.
I already told you, this isn't your cat.
Just take a breather, you two.
Oh, what's going on?
Oh, you're here. As you can probably see, you'll have to take a rain check on that tea I promised you. At least for now.
This is my friend's cat. He's preoccupied with some important business, so I came to retrieve her in his stead.
Wait, what? Oh my god. Okay, well, what is this? Why is there more game mechanics? I'm too stupid for this. Okay. Passive checks are a special type of check that needs to be not be actively triggered, but instead will automatically trigger at specific times. If you pass, you will find some hidden information. I hate this. My luck is so bad. Why would you do this to me? Okay, fine. Inside check success. This lady's expression seems a bit unnatural. The way she speaks— Bro! We're literally doing perception checks! What? Why are we playing D&D right now? The way she speaks is loud and authoritative. It's like she's deliberately using her tone of voice to dispel any doubts about her integrity.
No. It's far more likely this cat escaped from the Humane Society.
This gentleman's expression seems a bit unnatural. The hesitation in his voice— it seems like he could be hiding something. His gaze keeps drifting off to the side. It's like he's trying not to draw attention to himself. How about we let Bonnie decide?
Bonnie?
That's the name I've given her in the meantime.
Aww. Okay. Ooh. Okay, my luck is good, but only in this game. Aww. Bonnie happily runs up to you and begins to weave through your legs.
This complicates things.
It seems she quite likes me.
I told you before. This is my friend's cat. It's normal for her not to trust me.
Listen, I'm the director of the Humane Society, okay? We've got so many strays, dogs, cats, you name it. I'm not even the one feeding them most of the time. You can hardly expect the cat to recognize me.
Then how are you so sure she belongs to you?
She just looked somewhat familiar, so I came to check, just in case. If she turns out to be one of ours, I'll take her back. Simple as that. Even if that's not the case, the Humane Society could still take her in, if no one else comes to claim her, that is.
What's the Humane Society?
We're an organization that specializes in rescuing and sheltering stray animals. We've been in business for several decades now. I'm Bernard, the current director.
The Humane Society. Huh. The name sounds familiar. I remember hearing good things. Near the one in the Quartier Lyonnais?
Yes, that's the one. Anyway, if it's not too much trouble, could I possibly take a closer look at the cat? If it turns out I really am mistaken, I suppose that means the cat belongs to this lady here. She would be the only remaining option after all.
It belongs to my friend.
With us here to keep watch, it should be fine.
Go on, Bonnie.
She's so cute.
Oh, nope. Looks like I was mistaken. They do look similar, but there's an ever so slight difference in this one's fur color. Deepest apologies, friends. Well, I suppose this means I still have a missing cat to search for. Apologies again for the confusion.
So is this your friend's cat?
Oh, yes, exactly.
Wait a second. You lied earlier, didn't you?
Oh, she can tell.
Lied? I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
A liar always has a tell. The look in their eyes, their breathing pattern, the way they hold themselves. The things that can give you away are often more numerous than you would think.
Of course she knows. Of course she knows. She lives with a liar. Oh, hi, Reason VT. Welcome to the chat. My name is Kiko, and I'm playing Lynette's Story Quest today. I hope you enjoy your stay here. She's so smart. I love that she's so used to being able to tell when people are lying.
What are you talking about? The way I see it, you're conflating baseless conjecture with fact.
Normally, when someone is called out, their breathing speeds up as they begin to panic. But your breathing pattern hasn't changed one bit. In fact, it's been strangely calm and measured this entire time. It stands to reason, then, that your agitated behavior earlier was all an act. If you're a bad guy, I'm sure you'll take off running the first chance you get. If you're a good guy, the most likely explanation is that you're a member of the Guards, or some similar organization.
Oh, I'm sorry that you didn't like it very much. Lynette and Linny, well, Linny especially, are one of my favorite characters in Fontaine, so I have a lot to say about this hangout quest so far. It's very interesting to me.
And you're basing this off of?
Intuition. Nothing more.
It's just vibes.
Intuition. Well, I have to hand it to you, Lynette.
You guys can hear like crunching noises. That's my cat.
You're right. I'm a member of the Guards. The name's Elodie. I'm currently investigating a cross-border smuggling case. This cat here, Bonnie, what's her name? Well, her owner is one of the prime suspects of our investigation.
Oh hello? Yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
A couple of days ago, our suspect got wind that we were on his tail and fled. That's most likely how he got separated from the cat. I just so
Poor
happened to stumble upon
baby.
your notice in the Steambird. So, I decided to see if he'd come back for her. But, it looks like I overestimated him.
If I were on the run, I don't think I'd come back either. I heard Bonnie. What's your name? My name is Kiko. Bonnie is this cat's name.
The impact of this case has been huge. The Marechaussee Phantom, the Guards, and the Special Patrol have all launched investigations. If there was even the slightest chance that he would show himself, I had to follow up on the lead.
I think the dialogue's a bit quiet. I'm gonna change that after this. So what's being smuggled?
A new kind of illegal drug. Imitation synth.
Not synth again! Come on!
We confiscated all the synth on the market, but addiction isn't something that goes away overnight. Even without substances on the market, people are still looking for a way to get their next fix.
That's true.
And criminals are all too eager to capitalize on that addiction. That was the impetus for imitation synth. Needless to say, a small-scale market opened up very quickly.
But primordial seawater doesn't have the same effect it does it before, right? Well, or does it still work like normal?
After the original synth debacle, we put several measures into place to prevent similar incidents from occurring. The perpetrators got smart, though, and shifted their sales overseas before those measures could kick in. That's when the imitation synth smuggling began. We only recently got word of the presence of imitation synth overseas. We managed to track down evidence of some early transactions. What we were able to find out, however, hasn't proven that useful given the amount of time that has passed. The Marechaussee Phantom launched an investigation to track down every person in Fontaine capable of producing a drug like that. That's how we learned about Bonnie's owner.
Who is he exactly?
He's a researcher at the Fontaine Research Institute.
Of course!
His name is Pierre. Pierre Lefebvre, to be exact.
I'm surprised it took so long for us to run into an NPC named Pierre in Fontaine.
Lefebvre.
Ooh, you know that name? We perception checked Lynette. A slight look of dread just crossed Lynette's face. Strange, she usually schools her expressions with mechanical precision.
The Marechaussee Phantom found him in Poisson. In addition to the cat, he also had a pendant with him.
Pretty. Whoa! That's oh, I forgot what it's called. The something about the caduceus myth and like how caduceus doesn't actually represent medicine. This is the thing that actually represents medicine. Oh my god, sorry. I love snakes. I'll check DM when I can. Okay, let me check DM. Okay, give me a second. I need to turn off my light because it's like bright outside. I know, that's the snake symbol thing I like. Astra, you get me. Okay, we are so back. If you hear any meowing, that's obviously not me. That's my cat. That's my kitty.
At first, there wasn't much cause for suspicion. A search of his house didn't reveal much to go off of either. The Marechaussee Phantom very nearly left it at that. It was only later that we realized the coat of arms on his pendant belonged to none other than the Lefebvre family, one of the most infamous aristocratic families in Fontaine.
Oh, Lynette, did you Nothing, never mind.
Obviously, this discovery prompted a further investigation into Pierre. At that point, however, we discovered that he'd already fled. Now the guards and the special patrol are all searching for him.
Could his family be hiding him?
That's not possible, actually. The Lefebvre family has been gone for a long time.
Oh, you got rid of them, did you?
Exactly. Many years ago, several important members of the family, including the patriarch, were murdered by an assassin of unknown origin. From that point on, family's power and influence took quite the hit.
Oh my god, is that the aristocrat that tried to traffic her? Then the one who killed him is... Okay, no, let's not jump to conclusions.
The family is engaged in all manner of crimes. As you can imagine, there's no shortage of people waiting in the wings to take their revenge. And with the family severely weakened, they were able to do just that. Most of the remaining family members succumbed to sickness or hunger. The ones that survived are currently living out their days under a new identity. Pierre is one of those very survivors. He's been hiding away in the Fontaine Research Institute all these years. His true identity unbeknownst to all. Until now, that is.
Is it really okay to share all this information with us?
Well, my fellow guards have told me all about how smart and courageous you both are. And I know you possess a strong sense of justice. There could be a chance that Pierre, or one of his accomplices, might attempt to get close to Bonnie. Now that you've been briefed on the situation, I was hoping you'd help us keep a lookout.
Okay. Aww.
If I take Bonnie back to the guards with me, there's no way Pierre will try and come for her. Not even the most daring of criminals would attempt something like that.
Please don't jinx it. So should we keep Bonnie with us for the time being?
I have to admit, I'm not holding out too much hope that Pierre will come back for her. But if there's even the slightest chance, then it's worth a shot. Well, I've got some other leads to follow up on. If Pierre does appear, please contact me right away.
Interesting. Ooh. What's wrong?
It's nothing. I'm fine. It's just... the head of the Lefebvre family. He was the eminent person who kidnapped me all those years ago.
Lynette, that is not nothing. Lynette. Oh my god. You didn't just get kidnapped, Lynette. You almost got human trafficked, Lynette. Please. Okay.
It was at a dinner party. Someone tricked me into boarding the Lefebvre family carriage. Whoever it was, they took me back to their home.
I'm so sorry. That I can't imagine how traumatic that must have been. Jesus Christ.
But before anything worse could happen, Father intervened.
So that's what happened. Then the assassin Elodie mentioned.
Yep. Father was the one who orchestrated the fall of the Lefebvre family. That's what led Lenny and I to join the House of the Hearth.
Yes, this is what I wanted to see. I'm really, really glad that we're talking about it, because I want to know how she feels about it. Like, I know that, you know, I don't want people to give Linny shit for being the one to talk about it during the Archon quest, because Lynette clearly doesn't want to.
After all these years, I never thought I'd hear the Lefebvre name again.
Are you okay? Yeah, see, even Bonnie's worried.
Don't worry about me. I wasn't feeling sorry for myself. I was just thinking about Lenny.
Girl, you're the one that got kidnapped!
He's been acting strange recently. He avoids me for days on end. Consumes himself with some secret investigation. And then, out of the blue, pushes me to do that acting job.
Oh, I love when the characters act like the way Fanon perceives them to be. He does act secretive in Fanon when something comes up. And yeah, of course, okay, now that explains it. That explains what he's been doing, doesn't it?
Thinking about it now, it's almost like the one I drew from that deck of cards
Oh my
was part
god.
of his plan all along. He must have asked Fremenade to help him out.
Fucking liar.
In any case, I know he's hiding something from me. He's really pulled out all the stops this time.
I can't believe he would even lie to Lynette. That's actually kind of crazy. You think he knows about Pierre?
It's very possible. I'm sure he tried to send me away because he was afraid it would bring up some painful memories for me. It wasn't necessary, though.
No, I think he's going out of his way to try to kill this guy, Lynette.
Even after all these years, he's still as overprotective as ever.
Can you blame him? You just got kidnapped again, like a few weeks ago, by Risley.
You'll have to help me teach him a lesson if we run into him along the way.
Along the way, are we going somewhere?
Yep. I want to head to the Fontaine Research Institute to learn more information about Pierre. Just let me activate search mode and then we'll head out. Who knows? Maybe we'll run into Lynne along the way.
Are you trying to help out Lynne with his investigation, or are you trying to prove yourself?
A little bit of both, perhaps. For the most part, though, I just have the sense that something's not right. Something isn't adding up about Pierre's story. I'm just not sure what.
I also want to know what secrets he's hiding. Sometimes you just gotta take the bull by the horns, right? See, Bonnie agrees. I love Bonnie.
Okay, I'll write a letter explaining everything to the crew. Once that's done, we can head out.
I don't want to meet Lenny. Lenny! You lied to your fucking sister? Look at this face. I hate him. Poor Lynette. I understand where Lenny's coming from. I really do. As an older sibling, I perfectly understand where Lenny's coming from. But at the same time, I've been patronized for most of my life, so if this happened to me, I would get very mad. I would get very upset. I would get, you know, I would have trust issues for the rest of my life. I'm not putting double standards here. Lenny, you should have just told her, you fucking weirdo. Okay, Lenny, apologist. You just hate me. You just don't listen to what I'm saying. You literally just hate me. I literally just said... Oh, there he is. Oh, he's with Chevros! Yo, two bad bitches!
Lynette, you're, not at rehearsal?
He's so cute.
You can drop the act, brother. In fact, I don't think either of us will have a need for acting anytime soon. You should know better than to try and keep something from me. You've never been able to do that, even when we were kids.
And that's why I tried to distract you with the masked mime show. But I guess you're just too good.
Oh, hi, Lenny. I missed you.
Care to introduce us to your new assistant?
This is Officer Chevros, captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. You may have met her already.
We meet again. Hi, Chevros.
Nice to see you.
Oh, she's so pretty.
I should clarify something. Mr. Linney's here at my invitation, not the other way around. To borrow your expression, Miss Lynette, I suppose that would make him my assistant more than anything. We've brought on Mr. Linney as a consultant in the past.
Ooh.
He was instrumental in helping us crack a case involving a perpetrator who used magic tricks to commit crimes. I was hoping he'd be able to provide some valuable insight this time around.
That's so funny. Do you guys know that he's a criminal? I mean, knowing how Chevros works, she probably just like turns a blind eye to it, right? She's like, I do not see. Are you here because of the Lefevre case?
So you've heard everything then?
Are you impressed? I'm very smart. I'm very smart.
That's exactly why we're here. There's always been questions surrounding the fall of the Lefevre family. Some people even believe the House of the Hearth was involved. Whoever was behind it all was extremely cautious. They didn't leave a shred of evidence. This very fact, however, leads me to believe it was indeed the work of that harbinger.
Are we gonna see Arlecchino? If we see Arlecchino in this hangout quest, that might be a bit too much. I might explode.
I took a look at the entrance and exit records of all the carriages that night. Let's just say it wasn't hard to deduce that there's ill will between you two. Don't worry, I don't have any evidence to that effect, and I certainly don't plan on going to bat for such a despicable family. Plus, you were victims back then more than anything.
Exactly! Oh my god, Chevros is amazing. She's the MVP. She's a real one. We need more cops like Chevros.
I sought Mr. Linney's help with the smuggling case. Nothing more.
You're really teaming up with the House of the Hearth? Based! based.
The way I look at it, it's a collaboration between us as people, not the organizations we represent. Besides, by working together, we can expose the truth as quickly as possible. You can hardly say that's at odds with the justice my organization strives for.
I'm assuming you wouldn't be opposed to some extra help?
Not at all. I was planning to invite you from the very beginning, Miss Lynette. It's just that my assistant here raised some objections.
You're so overbearing. I mean, I get it, but also, when it comes to Lynette's trauma, you have to listen what she has to say about it, Linny. I get it, but it's her trauma.
Linny, I'm not the same person I was back then.
Yeah, listen to her, please! Oh my god, Isako, hi, we're playing Lynette's story quest. I'm very excited. We're finally addressing, Lynette's trauma, because I wanted to know how she felt about it, so you came in at a very good time.
That little girl who did nothing but cower in the corner in fear, she doesn't need saving anymore.
No, Ether! Oh, fuck, imagine Lumine saying this too. Oh. I know you want to protect your little sister, but little sisters don't stay little forever. I love the way Linny and Lynette affect us as a main character playing as like Lumine or Ether. That's so good. That's why I like them so much.
I'm sorry, Lynette. You're right. I let my concerns get the better of me.
Oh, and the next time you want to distract me, you should try a different approach.
Yeah, just buy her a bunch of cake. Hi, Bonnie. Bonnie's coming with us? Bonnie, no! Bonnie, stay back. You're gonna get hurt, baby.
Who's this? You pick up a stray while I was gone?
It's a bit complicated. I'll explain later. Anyway, her name's Bonnie.
I like her unique animations for the story quest. This is cute.
Well, if there are no objections, then I suppose the only thing left to say is... Lynette, Traveler, welcome to the team.
Thank you. I'm switching to Traveler. Travelers and Linny share with you what they've learned.
It appears the Lefebvre family was very particular in their use of insignias and emblems.
You look so good, sorry.
The family would use different emblems to mark differences in status, blood relation, and the like. In fact, the insignia that was discovered on the pendant was used to represent an illegitimate child.
The one snake is an illegitimate child? So that would mean Pierre is a bastard child. That's the kind of drama I came to Fontaine for.
It's highly likely. That very status might have been what allowed him to emerge from the fall of his family relatively unscathed. It would also explain why he was able to assume a new identity as a researcher with relative ease.
We discovered something interesting, though. After talking to some of his co-workers, it appears he pretty much works at the Institute in name only. He's practically been cast out.
Wait, what happened?
Apparently, Pierre was once addicted to synth. He tried to use the resources at the Institute to create a substance with a similar effect.
Maybe he's the one behind the imitation synth.
He claimed it was just for research purposes, but the Institute revoked his access to the relevant materials regardless. He was placed on disciplinary leave, pending a thorough investigation of his actions.
So he's really not that different from the rest of the Lefebvre family, isn't he? Wait, because like if he's just a drug addict, I would feel bad for him, but you know, he's a researcher and that's dangerous.
But it seems the Institute ran into some trouble along the way. Could have been a lack of personnel or a timing issue. In any case, they had to table their formal investigation into Pierre. Unfortunately, that also included reporting any relevant information to the higher authorities. As for his family background, it appears none of his co-workers at the Institute were aware of that information. All they could tell us was that he was quite the recluse.
Did you find anything useful at his residence?
Other than the pendant, we didn't find anything else of note at his residence in Poisson.
Oh my god, he lives in Poisson.
Based on the samples of imitation synth we've been able to analyze, it appears the substance leaves behind strong traces wherever it's produced or stored. Those traces might not be obvious to the casual observer, but they're not something our guard poodles would miss. We didn't find any records indicating possible involvement in overseas transactions either. So, the Marechaussee Phantom didn't view him as a major suspect at first.
Maybe he had a separate, dedicated area where he made the imitation synth.
Well, his neighbors did say he was often gone for long stretches of time. You would think with him out and about so much, people would have spotted him around Poisson, but residents said they barely ever saw him in town. If his reclusive nature was just a matter of keeping a low profile, I guess it would make sense for him to have a secret base to carry out his business.
After he disappeared, the guards conducted a thorough search of Poisson, but they didn't come across any suspicious locations.
Poisson.
What is that, Lynette? Do you want to ask Navi about it, maybe?
You know Hotel de Boer, where I first found Bonnie? To get there from Poisson, you have to cross a stretch of ocean. It's not somewhere a cat could just wander off on its own.
A cat? You mean...
Oh yeah, I forgot. I was like, why is Bonnie coming with us? I forgot that, like, that's the criminal's cat. Hi, Bonnie!
Bonnie is Pierre's cat.
Oh, that's right! When the Marechaussee Phantom first tracked him down, I remember there being something about a cat in their report. So this is her?
From what we've learned about Pierre's habits, he doesn't seem like the type to venture out without a purpose. So what you're saying, Lynette, is that Bonnie couldn't have gone missing in Poisson. If that's true, then...
She must have wandered off only after Pierre brought her to his secret base.
Exactly. Bonnie might even know where it is.
Good girl, Bonnie!
Wait, you think the cat can lead us there? But she's not trained like one of our guard poodles. How is she supposed to understand what we want her to do?
Lynette can give it a try. I can give it a go. Meow, meow, meow. I don't want to embarrass myself in front of Lenny. I really like the mechanic though, so I'm gonna do it. Okay, don't fail me now. 12? It's pretty high. Lenny, look away. Why? Don't look at me, don't look at me. Startled Bunny rushes to hide behind Lynette.
Guess she's a little skittish around strangers.
I'll leave it to you then.
Meow. Meow meow.
Aww. Bunny seems to understand what you want. Ooh.
Near the coast, the beach, and beneath the cliffs. The place we're looking for is most likely north of the Court of Fontaine.
Well, I've certainly never taken a witness statement like this before.
I mean... Someone needs to have Chevreuse play Ace Attorney. I need to see her lose her mind when she has to cross-examine a parrot.
Well, if it works out, maybe it's something worth getting used to.
He's chuckling.
Cats and humans are actually pretty alike. When it comes to communication, most of what we want to convey can be accomplished through body language alone.
That's true.
But humans tend to rely too much on speech to ever take advantage of that fact. Of course, body language has its limitations. You're not going to be able to get across anything too complicated.
The important thing is that we now have a lead. Let's try and find a place that matches the clues Bonnie gave us.
I love seeing Lenny so serious. It's sad that this is why he has to be so serious, but he really cuts through the bullshit. He doesn't even bother putting up the act.
Coming in! Paimon, coming in! Is it...
Okay, I think it should be. Oh, sorry, Kiko, I gotta go. I need to do my passion project. I need to do 20 hours, so I need to do it in 20 hours, so I better hurry then. Bye. Good luck, Isako. Thank you for dropping by.
Believing, there's no limit to the number of tricks I can pull off.
Lenny, we have a criminal to catch. Shut the fuck up. Big stretch.
Seems like Bonnie is trying to take us somewhere.
Where are we going, Bonnie? I'm gonna go as Lynette. Wait, hold on. Before we keep going, I'm gonna take Ether out. Just because.
This world is full of unsolved mysteries.
Hello.
Surprise!
Hi, Bonnie.
Artemex ahead.
Look out!
Lenny saying look out. Get behind me, Lynette!
Here comes the finale! Step right up!
A proper send-off from the Stina with love.
Hey,
This
stop.
one's got your name on it.
Oh my god, I switched Lenny and Lynette's places. Now I'm getting confused about my rotation.
Over here. Zip on up. Huh. This one's got your name on it. Cue the spotlight.
A round of applause!
Easy. Sorry, kitty.
Wow, Lynette, you found this place so easily. If I thought there was any chance you'd say yes, I'd recruit you into the Special Patrol here and now. No questions asked.
If I thought there was any chance you'd say yes, I love how she can tell Lynette's gonna immediately refuse.
Sounds familiar. I pretty much receive letters daily from people trying to poach her from me.
I mean, yeah, I can see why.
Let's just focus on our search. There's a lot to investigate.
Lenny, you're so clingy. You're like, this is my assistant. You guys don't get to take her. Hey, babe. Hey. Hey, Lenny. Hi. Hey, how have you been doing? I missed you. I missed you. Hey. I know this is like serious time. I know. Like there's a criminal on the loose. Isn't this fun? Isn't okay? Like your sister being in danger is not fun, but like you know, like us working together to like crack a case isn't it fun? Isn't it fun? Well, we make a pretty good team, don't you think? What do you think? I missed you. Okay. My God, Ether, please investigate it.
The material these bags are made of, it's quite rare.
Doesn't it look similar to the material used for your magic pocket?
It's the very same, actually. Romaritime flower fiber.
Oh.
But there's something special about the composition of these bags. I took a closer look, and it appears they're not only waterproof, but also corrosion and leak resistant.
Why would it have to be corrosion Oh, probably because there's imitation synth in it.
Even the strings look specially designed to keep the bags closed nice and tight. I came across some bags made of the same material just now, but they were much smaller and thinner. From the look of them, they seemed far less durable as well.
So kind of like one of those small sealed bags?
Very similar, actually. Normally, it would be easy for a guard poodle to sniff out the imitation synth, but if it was sealed away in a bag like that, it might be possible to elude detection for some time. But what could these big bags be for then? If the goal is to keep the imitation synth hidden and sealed away, these bags seem a bit too conspicuous.
I need one of those bags. Lenny, you're so smart! You're so smart, Lenny! Oh, I get to talk to him.
Hi, Lenny. Hi.
But what could these big bags be for then? If the goal is to keep the imitation synth hidden and sealed away, these bags seem a bit too conspicuous.
They are very bright. Okay, you go think about that, okay? I'll talk to you later. I miss you. Mwah. Hi, Chevrolet. What's up, girly? Guys, I love this OST! I love this OST. This OST makes me emotional for no reason. Me too. It's my favorite Fontaine exploration OST. That's why it's my outro song. Okay, bye, Lenny. What's up, Chevrolet?
Aha! Just as we thought. This is where the imitation synth was being made.
These bottles and jars, they're all imitation synth. Okay, Ether, we could swipe one, right? They won't know. I know synth is like really dangerous, but we can swipe like just a little bottle. It's fine. They won't know.
Looks like he's got more than just imitation synth stashed around here. In addition to the raw materials needed to synthesize the substance itself, there's a large quantity of cleaning agents and a few drugs I haven't been able to identify. These cleaning agents are likely used to dispel traces of the substance, like its smell. The Special Patrol did some digging into imitation synth. Our records indicate that it's very difficult for ordinary people to detect traces left behind by the stuff. I'm sure that was the case for Pierre as well. It must have taken a considerable amount of time and skill to ensure all those traces get washed away. But what are these other drugs for?
Drugs.
But what are these other drugs for?
Interesting. Lynette? Is she inside? Oh, there she is. Hey, baby. She's talking to Bonnie!
When the Marechaussee Phantom searched Pierre's house, there was no sign of these barrels, right?
Ooh, long dialogue. He must have moved them, but carrying all of them all the way down here... Wait, hold on, someone's at the door. Sorry, someone's at the door. Sorry, my bad. Okay. He must have moved them, but carrying them all the way here would attract too much attention.
You're right. That doesn't seem like his way of doing things. How did he get them here then?
Examine the barrels. The barrels show signs of water damage. Dried up water stains can be seen around the circumference of the barrels. There seems to be a pattern to the location of the water stains. For some reason, they appear to be limited to the lower half of the barrels. The lids don't seem very tight, leaving sizable gaps around the edges, but there doesn't appear to be any traces of water inside the barrels.
Only the lower halves of the barrels appear to have been submerged in water.
I love Bonnie. Bonnie's so cute. I love the little bow tie. Pierre might have been a criminal, but he has good taste in cat
Based
accessories.
on the various ingredients we've found, this appears to be where Pierre was cooking up his imitation synth. It looks like he used a special cleaning agent to get rid of any residual traces of the substance on his person before he left. That's how he was able to get past the guard poodles.
He's pretty thorough. That's why the Marechaussee Phantom didn't find anything suspicious in his home.
So then he transferred the imitation synth into small sealed bags and took it somewhere else for the drop-off.
No. I don't believe our suspect is the kind of person who'd go around carrying incriminating evidence with him. That would potentially create too many eyewitnesses. The cleaning agent and the sealed bags might get past the guard poodles. But if a member of the public or even a guard on patrol happened to see him during the drop-off, a quick search would reveal everything. That's still a very risky operation.
What about if the drop-off happened at sea? There'd be no one around to see him.
The barrels we found were wet around the base, but the top half was dry.
Oh!
As if they'd been standing upright in the water.
There are a lot of floating barrels in Fontaine. Interesting.
If you put a barrel in the water, it will normally float on its side. Unless it's heavily loaded, in which case it'll sink.
So he must have used something to tightly seal big bags full of air, turning them into airtight flotation devices.
Yes. With flotation rings around the body of the barrels, they'd stay upright in the water. And then he could afford to load them more fully.
Wouldn't that kind of stand out? Yeah, and they're blue too.
You think he used floating barrels? I suppose if he acted at night, when there are very few other boats around and visibility is low, it's a valid theory. We can't rule it out.
But then, wouldn't the barrels be carried off by the waves or the currents? How would the person doing the pickup know where to look?
Barrels that could float away and get lost. Barrels that could float away and get lost at sea. Sounds difficult to keep in one place, kind of like certain pets. Hi, Bonnie.
Traveler, can you come take a dip in the sea with me? I have a feeling that somewhere down there, we might find some rope. If a rope can be used to keep a pet from running away, then why not a barrel?
Okay. Hey, Lainey.
It's rare to see Lynette in serious mode. I wonder how long she'll keep it activated for.
It's rare to see you in serious mode. I wonder how long you'll keep it activated for. You know how attractive this looks on you, Linny? You should do this more often. Well, not too much. You do it sparingly so that the gap moa will hit harder. But I really like this look on you, Linny. You're so cool and reliable. Okay. I miss him so
I can't believe
much.
how much progress we're making with this investigation. Without your help, getting this far would have taken me an awful lot of time and manpower.
I didn't do anything. It's all Lynette. It's literally all Lynette. Sorry, I want to hear him say that line again.
It's rare to see Lynette in serious mode. I wonder how long she'll keep it activated for.
Okay, let's go, Lynette. I'm very good at swimming, don't worry. Oh man, I miss swimming in Fontaine. The sound.
The wreckage of a small boat? This isn't the place. This isn't the place. Got it. Time to go up and report.
Nice. The swimming sounds in Fontaine are so nice. The sound designers did a great job. I love the way the audio, like the environment audio kind of distorts when you're underwater, and it's when you dive up, it gets clear. That's so realistic. I really, really like that. Lenny, dry off.
As expected, we found a few pieces of rope and some anchoring stones underwater. If you attach them to a floating barrel, it would look like this.
Ah.
With this anchoring system, it would be possible to use floating barrels for the drop-off. You would just need to drop them in the water at the agreed-upon location.
It does act like an anchor.
We also came across the wreckage of a small boat. It must have been left out on the water and capsized due to the force of the wind and waves. Its small size, however, would have made it perfect for staying undetected.
It's very pretty, but it makes me motion sick. I mean, Genshin in general makes me motion sick because I have really bad motion sickness. So it's not that different from just playing regular Genshin to me. I'd have to take breaks between like a few hours.
Let's talk this through. Based on the evidence we've collected, it seems like Pierre would row a small boat out to the agreed-upon transfer point, drop off the barrels, leave, and then row back and retrieve them after the transfer was complete.
Why use such a convoluted drop-off method though? Wouldn't it be easier for both parties to meet up at the transfer point on their respective vessels and exchange their goods right there and there? Maybe they couldn't. Maybe there was a reason they had to do this.
It could be that he was trying to avoid meeting up with his associate face to face. As one of the sole survivors of the Lefebvre family, maybe he was just used to that sort of elusive lifestyle.
You're one to talk, aren't you?
It seems like Pierre deliberately chose the floating barrel method so that the goods could be dropped off and picked up at separate times. That way, the two parties wouldn't have to meet each other.
Well, if that's the case, they must not have a very close working relationship.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. Assumptions can be detrimental to solving a case. It's possible they were just trying to keep a low profile. Two boats sailing to the same location at once could be too conspicuous. The most important thing is that we can now confirm Pierre wasn't acting alone. The floating barrel drop-off system is proof enough of that. Let's say for now that he was only in charge of producing the imitation synth. That would mean there has to be at least one other person involved in the operation. Likely in charge of transporting the goods across the border.
That explains why you couldn't find evidence linking him to any overseas operations.
Since we've determined that the goods were transported by boat, maybe we can track down some travel logs or something.
We can certainly check the various ports for that information. It's possible, however, that Pierre's associate also used a small boat for the transport, and docked along the shore rather than at a large port. If that's the case, it's unlikely there would be any record left behind.
Have you looked into the ports already?
Absolutely. Before Pierre disappeared, we made sure to investigate all sorts of outward-bound vessels. We also had port authorities keep a lookout for anything suspicious. Unfortunately, we were never able to find out how they managed to get the imitation synth across the border.
A small boat and a few barrels isn't gonna get you very far.
You're right. Whatever vessel was used for the pickup, the person responsible for smuggling the substance out of Fontaine would have had to use a larger vessel for the actual transport. That's the only way they would be able to smuggle on a large enough scale to make a profit. They must have found a way to disguise the imitation synth to clear port inspections.
Well, even if we can't find any travel logs, we can still search for other clues.
Exactly. We can't let any opportunities slip through the cracks. Although, given the amount of ports that could be involved, we should probably split up.
Okay.
I'll run home and ask some of my brothers and sisters to try and dig up some information.
I should also head back and update my platoon on our progress. I'll grab some reinforcements while I'm at it. Lynette, Traveler, why don't you head to Lumiduce Harbor and see what you can find out?
Okay, but also I was gonna say, Linny, why don't you just tell your dad about this? But knowing Linny, he probably wouldn't want to trouble her with that.
Alright. Come on, Bonnie. You too.
Yeah, but this is like a matter regarding not really Lynette's safety, but I think he should tell Arlecchino. Not just because I want to see Arlecchino, but I think he should tell her. Okay. Lumiduce Harbor. Is this why? No, she wasn't at Lumiduce Harbor. Was she at Lumiduce Harbor in Navia's trailer? I can't remember which harbor she was on. Hi, baby. Hi, Rain. Everyone, my cat is here. He is the sweetest boy. Give me a second. Ooh, this OST is nice.
Oh, Lynette, Traveler. And Bonnie, too. What brings you all here?
Did something happen?
We're here to check the travel logs. You update them on the situation.
Oh. I see. Thank you for everything you're doing for the people of Fontaine.
What are you doing here?
I'm in charge of guarding the port. You mentioned you were after some travel logs, right? I can go fetch those for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Looks like I've got another hard day of work ahead of me.
Are things usually pretty hectic around here?
No, not usually. It's this incident that happened recently. Before that, everything was normal. All we had to do was confiscate anything suspicious and we could call it a day. Pretty simple stuff. But things are much more complicated now. We somehow let suspicious cargo pass through the port undetected. Not even our guard poodles were able to sniff it out. Even worse, we still don't know how the perpetrator was able to conceal the goods so well.
By suspicious cargo, do you mean imitation synth?
Yep. However, prohibited substances are just one example. We confiscate all sorts of contraband during the course of our inspections. Or at least, we're supposed to.
So what happens to the goods you confiscate?
Oh, we keep them in a storage locker. If they turn out to be something particularly dubious, we'll turn them over to the Maison Orderly. If the goods are only slightly suspicious but could otherwise be harmless, like raw materials that could potentially be used to create contraband, we return them to the ship they were confiscated from, instead of letting them pass through the port.
Sorry for the wait. These are the travel logs for all the recent activity at the port.
Oh, you brought Gerard with you.
Actually, he followed me here himself. It's like he smells something on me. Huh. I wonder why Gerard is reacting to you two so strongly.
Could be because we just left the place where the imitation synth was made. Whatever Gerard smelled on you probably came from us.
Huh? We were so careful not to touch it, but we still ended up with traces on us. If it leaves a residue so easily, I just don't understand how the culprit was able to disguise the goods at all.
Why don't you have a look at the travel logs first? All ships coming in and out of the port are recorded here, except for the ones the port authorities ride to and from work.
You flip through Nubral's travel logs, you remain several— You notice several instances where the Humane Society is listed. The name really seems to— Hello?
The Humane Society.
We've encountered that organization before, right?
Their name is all over the exit logs. The purpose for leaving is always listed as overseas adoption.
Ah, the director of the organization explained that actually. He said a lot of the cat and dog breeds unique to Fontaine are also very popular overseas. So, his organization offers an overseas adoption program.
Bernard, the director of the Humane Society, was the man who came looking for Bonnie earlier.
Oh! That cat that fled from Pierre looked just like the cat that the Humane Society is looking for. Could that really be a coincidence? It seemed as if Bernard was also hiding something. He seemed so insistent, but only ran a cursory check before leaving like that. When he came looking for Bonnie earlier, what if he wasn't actually there to check if Bonnie was his missing cat? What if he was there for some other purpose? Is Bonnie smuggling it inside of the bow tie?
Have you figured it out too, Traveler? The way the criminal disguised the goods? When Bernard asked to take a closer look at Bonnie, he was actually checking whether there was any imitation synth in her stomach.
No! Oh my god, that's awful! Oh, I thought it was so much more innocent. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! No wonder Lynette oh no! Holy, I feel sick. This is so you're going to hell, Bernard. You're going to hell. That's Jesus. How do you even come up with that? I've heard of people smuggling drugs inside of their stomach, but how could you do that to animals and use like an animal shelter? Oh, I mean, it's a great plan for if you're an awful person. No one's gonna suspect it, but Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. He was using the animals at a shelter to smuggle imitation synth.
Wait, what?
The sealed bags we found at the secret base. They were specially made to be corrosion resistant.
So that they wouldn't be digested.
And there were gaps around the lids of the barrels, and airbags were used to keep them upright in the water.
Oh my, this is awful. This is like actually awful. I'm fine. Hold on, I need to hug my cat all of a sudden. Hi, baby. I'm okay, but they really should have had like a trigger warning for this. Jesus Christ.
Those drug shovers found at the secret base. She most likely didn't recognize them because they're not used on human beings. It's an anesthetic used on pets. The perpetrator must have given it to the animals.
So that they would keep still in the floating barrels. They put them in the fucking barrel. Sorry, I can't with animal abuse. My cat was just in the hospital. This is... They kept them in floating barrels in the middle of the water with... Just so many levels of messed up. I don't even know what to say.
Pierre must have made the animals swallow the sealed bags full of imitation synth at his secret base. Then he stuffed them into floating barrels and left the rest to Bernard.
The sealed bags combined with an animal's body odor would certainly be enough to mask the scent of imitation synth.
During our inspections, we would have never thought to inspect the bellies of those animals for anything suspicious. Even if we tried to feel around for something, I'm sure it would be difficult to detect.
Exactly. I bet Bernard even transported animals with synth in their stomach alongside ones without. That way, it would be even harder to say with certainty that something was amiss.
Do you think Bonnie could have imitation synth in her the drugs people, the lengths people go to profit from drugs is like actually one of the scariest things humanity is capable of. That's what the fuck is wrong with you?
She's probably in the clear. Otherwise, Bernard would have never left without her. I'm guessing he didn't know whether Pierre had already hidden the next batch of imitation synth before he fled.
She's taking this so much better than I am. I can't.
Just imagine. He sees the notice we put in the Steambird, and it turns out that one of the very cats he gave to Pierre for the smuggling operation is out in the open, roaming the streets of Fontaine. If Pierre had already hidden the next batch of imitation synth, then Bonnie would practically be living proof of their crimes. He would have had no choice but to go after her.
So, that's why he came to find you and insisted on taking a closer look at the cat.
Pierre must have fled in a hurry. That fact is probably what spared Bonnie. You know, I was gonna give Pierre like the benefit of the doubt. I was like, maybe he's an awful person, but he loves his cat. Fuck this guy.
Wait a second, I'm a little lost here. I get the part about hiding the substance in the pets, but those, what did you call them again? Floating barrels? Why even put the animals in there in the first place? If you've got something as convenient as a floating barrel, why not just stuff it with the imitation synth directly? Why not wait to hide the stuff until after the exchange has been made?
In
That's a
order
good
to make sure
point.
the animals could swallow the sealed bags, they made them extremely thin. Had they not done that, the animals would have likely bitten or chewed through them.
If any of the imitation synth leaked out, they would also have needed a lot of cleaning agents to get rid of the resulting smell.
That step would have required a lot of energy, as well as a certain amount of technical expertise. So, it was better left to the more experienced Pierre.
If the drugs like leaked out of the bag, that would kill the cat instantly.
We've already proven how easy it is to pick up trace amounts of imitation synth, so I'm sure Bernard was taking all the precautions he could to avoid the same fate.
They should have stopped at the lengths people go to make profit, that's true.
Okay, then let's head to the Humane Society right away and bring that guy to justice. I'll bring a Gardamek to speed up the process.
I feel awful, chat. I feel so awful. Like, why is this the route that we started off with? God damn it, I wanted something lighthearted. I know I said I wanted to know the truth, but sorry if I'm taking too long. I'm also kind of hungry, so I ordered food. In the meantime, Lynette's just taking this way better than me.
The headquarters of the Humane Society should be somewhere around here. Bernard could show up any moment now.
Fontaine truly is built different.
You're the people
Hey,
from
fuck
earlier.
off!
Wait, you're from the guards?
Die! Kill him. Let me beat up this guy.
After him! We
Oh my
can't
God, come
let
here.
him get away!
No, come here, come here. Where do you think you're going? I've never felt hatred for a Genshin character as much as this. Holy shit.
Give it up, Bernard.
Mercy. Have mercy. I'll talk. I'll tell
Mercy?
you everything I know.
Oh my god, bro. Someone would need to hold me back.
The Humane Society has done so much good over the years, and yet you have committed such an atrocious deed in its name.
Look,
Stab
I didn't
him.
have a choice, okay? My father cared about those blasted animals so much, he didn't bother to take care of his human wife and son at all. While those animals were showered with love, I lived worse than a dog.
What? That doesn't mean you get to take it out on the What is wrong with you?
No one asked. Tell me, how did you first get to know Pierre?
She said who asked? Oh, Elodie, I gotta love you.
Well, after I took over the Humane Society, it gradually became harder and harder to maintain its operations. Until one day, someone suddenly passed me a letter. It said that I could stand to get a large sum of money as long as I helped them to transport some animals abroad. It was only after a few such transports that I finally understood what I was really transporting. But then, Pierre wrote to me, saying that we were already partners in crime and that I better keep cooperating with him if I didn't want to be reported to the guards.
Oh, boo-hoo. There was a hint of dishonesty in his trembling voice. He's lying.
You knew it from the very beginning, didn't you? The reason why you had to go through so many steps just to transport some animals.
Yeah, don't fucking play dumb.
I'd suggest that you confess everything right now if you don't want to add anything else to your list of crimes.
Yes, officer. I would order wooden barrels and flotation devices according to his instructions, and then load the sleeping animals onto a boat. Once I sailed to the location he provided, I would dump everything together into the sea. And a few days after that, I'd come by again in my boat and pick up the animals sleeping in the barrels. Once I had received enough of them, I'd bring them to the harbor to be adopted abroad.
Like, there's so many ways I mean, I know that they probably have no regard for animal life if they're doing this to the animals, but there's so many ways this could, like, kill the animal in horrible ways. Oh, they could have sunk. Ugh.
That guy, Pierre, he was running the entire show. He set up all the meeting times and found all the foreign adopters. Oh, and he even supplied all of the goods, too. I just did the transport. He was the one who planned out and executed everything else.
So where is he now?
Look, I don't know, okay? I've never ever met him in person. We've only ever communicated through letters.
And when did he send his final letter to you?
Just last night, he said that the Marechaussee Phantom is now after him, so he's planning to go into hiding for some time. He didn't mention where he's thinking about going, though, but he did tell me to look out for the guards.
It's been a few days since Pierre's last appearance. I'd wager that he sent that letter after he found his hiding spot.
So where is that letter now?
I burned them. It was on his orders. I had to burn every letter after reading them. I wasn't even allowed to share them with the rest of the society employees.
Sure sounds like you're trying to use the lack of witnesses or evidence to pin the blame on Pierre.
No,
Get his ass
I
on
swear,
that.
this time I'm only telling you the truth.
Well, we can check the truth of your statements at the Opera House. I hope you know what'll be coming for you if I were to find any discrepancy between the evidence and the testimony you just gave.
Oh, Nuvoletta's gonna beat the shit out of... Actually, no, Nuvoletta's not gonna do that. Riley's gonna beat the shit out of this guy.
I know. I swear I was just telling the truth.
Have fun at the prank creation ring.
My thanks to you both. Had it not been for you, I really don't know what would have happened to this case.
Bonnie helped, too.
That's true. Bonnie did all the work.
That's true. It was all thanks to her that Bernard was finally exposed.
Oh, good job, Bonnie, baby. Are you okay? Oh, poor baby. Bonnie suddenly runs and hides behind you and Lynette. Aww.
And it looks like she's grown quite fond of you two as well.
Bonnie!
Then I'll leave you be. Just let me know if you find any other new leads.
Bonnie, I love you. Lynette, are you okay? Clearly she's not. It seems that Lynette still has something on her mind. Of course, why did I not expect Lynette's story quest to have animal cruelty-based crime? It's Fontaine, right? If there would be anything related to Lynette, it would be animal cruelty-based crime.
Now behave, and follow me to the interrogation room.
Get his ass.
Ow! That hurt. Ow!
Contemplation. They're about to leave. Is it really okay to let them go? Let's give this a try. Ooh! You want me to roll a nat 20? Oh shit! Would that have happened either way? No, we can't let her get away. Hold it right there.
Is there something else you need from me, traveler?
Bernard and Pierre, they weren't really acting alone, were they?
Huh?
I see. It all makes sense now.
Hey, what are you talking about? Look, even our confessed criminal here has no idea what you're saying.
Because he has been kept in the dark all along. And I assume it's the same with Pierre.
Bernard thought he was communicating with Pierre, and Pierre thought he was taking orders from Bernard. But for all this time, neither of them knew that there was a third person all along. Elodie!
That never quite added up for me. Why did Pierre feel compelled to return to his
It's
home
not her,
with
is
Bonnie
it?
and the pendant, and make them so easy to find for the Marechaussee Phantom?
Any animals Pierre received from the floating barrel should have been taken directly to his base, and considering his precarious situation, the pendant should have been the last thing Pierre would leave lying around.
Both of these things
Wait a
are in
second.
stark contrast to his usual meticulous and vigilant behavior. There's only one reasonable explanation. He was following orders, just like Bernard.
Doesn't Elodie look just like the NPC lady at the beginning when we were fighting over the cat?
He probably received the following instructions right before the Phantom came knocking on his door. Bring the cat and the pendant, and our undercover agent will be sure to help you. Unbeknownst to him, however, the third person who wrote that letter to him had long decided to sacrifice him and Bernard to save themselves.
They instructed the two men to communicate through letters and barrels specifically so that they'd never get to meet each other. Honestly, this third person probably planned to sell them both out from the very beginning.
What? You can't be serious. There was a third person involved?
If you focus only on Bernard's testimony, it's easy to believe that only Bernard and Pierre were working together. The case appeared extremely simple. Bernard did the trafficking, Pierre the imitation synth production, drugging, and stuffing.
What?
Oh, I didn't read it.
Wait. That doesn't make any sense. If that's the actual truth, then as soon as Pierre is caught, he'll explain his side of the story and the third person will...
Well, hold on, give me a second. I want to read what we had to say earlier. Give me a second. Okay. They instructed that the two men to communicate through letters and barrels specifically so that they never get to meet each other. Honestly, oh yeah, we already read this. With everything accounted for, the third person would then be cleared of all suspicion. Right, okay, we're there.
Yep, which is why the third person made sure that Pierre would never be found again. Once they had instructed Pierre to expose himself, the third person wrote to Pierre again, suggesting that everything had been taken care of, and he should take Bonnie and safely return to his base.
They then ambushed Pierre and made him disappear.
Of course, Pierre's disappearance at such a sensitive time immediately made him a prime suspect. Knowing that Bonnie had last been seen with him, all the third person would have to do from that point on would be to lead the Phantom to investigate the Humane Society and get Bernard to confess the truth.
Bernard would then testify that Pierre was the one who came up with the whole plot, and Pierre would be seen as having gone into hiding in the anticipation of getting caught. That is actually a really, really smart plan.
Wait, so you're saying that the letter I received yesterday, the one that made me think Pierre was still alive, it was also sent by the third person?
This is like the epitome of making other people do your dirty work for you. Keeping your hands clean.
Is that what happened? I'll get back to headquarters right away and reinvestigate this case from the top.
I'm telling you, she's literally the woman that was fighting over the cat. Not so fast.
Chevra said that assumptions can be detrimental to solving a case. Someone among us, however, has been feeding us all kinds of preconceived notions ever since our first meeting. They suggested that Pierre's disappearance was an attempt to escape the judgment of the law, and that Pierre was a scion of the Lefebvre family. But if the disappearance is truly just a cover-up for a murder, then couldn't the true scion have been an illegitimate daughter, rather than an illegitimate son?
Whoa! Miss Elodie Lefebvre?
Huh?
There was never a Pierre?
Haven't you taken this joke a bit too far? You're right. I did let a lot of assumptions get to my head when I first started to talk to you about the case. I'll make sure to correct my behavior.
You deliberately fed us lies, but even you could not control every last detail of your plan.
Yo!
There was a flaw in your scheme, and something didn't quite go as planned. Getting the Marechaussee Phantom to notice Pierre was only the first part of your plan. Had they failed to take notice of the Humane Society, they could have cast a wider net, and you couldn't predict what they might possibly find if given enough time. This, of course, was the main weakness of your plan.
And once the Special Patrol and Lenny got involved, it became even harder to control the outcome of this investigation.
As someone accustomed to acting from behind the scenes, you didn't want to take the risk of personally proposing a raid on the Humane Society. So, you thought
She's so
about pulling
smart.
a few more strings, so all the suspicion would point towards Bernard and his society.
A great option, of course, would be to also dispose of Bonnie and leave her body at Pierre's base in anticipation of a later discovery. Arlecchino would be so proud of her.
Once the Phantom expanded their search, it would only be a matter of time before they found Pierre's
For
base.
better or for worse.
If a cat last seen with the suspect turned up dead at the imitation synth base, it wouldn't be long until the Phantom would figure out exactly how she had been mistreated and turn their eyes towards the one organization that has been sending boatloads of animals out of Fontaine.
However, something unexpected happened at the base. Bonnie managed to escape into chaos. Bonnie! Bonnie, you're the best kitty!
It was probably during your ambush of Pierre. You didn't even have the time to check if she had already been stuffed full of imitation synth.
Oh, so Pierre is real. Oh, baby!
Still, you soon found another opportunity. Before long, Bonnie had made her way back into the city, and even popped up on the Steambird. Like Bernard, you desperately wanted to confirm the contents of her stomach, so you hurried to find us. Unlike Bernard, however, you were hoping that Pierre did have the time to make her swallow a load of imitation synth. While investigating the suspect's cat, we unexpectedly discovered that the suspect has been smuggling imitation synth using living animals as intermediaries. That was your plan, in any case. With that, you'd have been able to lead the investigation towards the Humane Society.
But Bonnie was very lucky. But you were extremely unlucky. Nah, Bonnie's a lucky cat.
Bonnie had managed to escape before Pierre was able to stuff her full of imitation
Oh, thank
synth.
God.
That part of your plan could no longer be carried out. But as shrewd as you were, you came up with another plan right away. You manipulated the Traveler and I to help you identify Bernard as a key suspect.
Get his ass, look at this. You knew Linny was investigating the case with Chevres, and you also knew of Lynette's previous encounter with the Lefebvre family.
You used the Lefebvre name as bait to get us to join your investigation. With 2 extra bodies around, the Special Patrol is sure to soon take note of the strange event of Bernard somehow having a reason to look for Pierre's cat.
And Lynette has been dealing with this more level-headedly than Linny, because Linny immediately panicked when he heard that name.
So, what you're saying is, I went to all that trouble just for the chance that you might put forth the suggestion that would lead you down the wrong path.
Of course, you did far more than that. Just now at Lumidu's Harbor, were you not the person who highlighted the suspicious activities of the Society?
By showing us the port's travel logs? Ugh.
You even highlighted the Society's activities during your compilation of the logs, so they'd be immediately visible to anyone examining the records. Moreover, the logs contained no records of the Port Authority's activities. In other words, your activities.
And what are you trying to suggest with that?
I am insinuating that you had plenty of opportunities to transfer the raw materials for imitation synth from the harbor to a boat. and then sail over to the meeting place full of floating barrels.
Once Bernard had placed the animals in the barrels, you'd open the lids and also dump the raw materials. As long as you did it before Pierre came for his pickup, there'd be none the wiser.
And that's how neither the trafficker nor the manufacturer knew there was a third person who supplied the raw materials, and surreptitiously operated between them.
First, you got in touch with both parties and secured the raw materials. Then you instructed Bernard to prepare the floating barrels and the animals. After that, you slipped the raw materials into the barrels next to the animals and requested that Pierre pick up the barrels and bring them back to his base.
Pierre manufactured imitation synth using the raw materials you provided, stuffed the animals, and placed the animals back into the barrels. Having received the green light from you as Pierre, Bernard then retrieved his animals and shipped them out of Fontaine once he had received enough for a full batch. This is the truth behind your smuggling ring.
I don't like it when they say stuff the animals. It makes me so uncomfortable.
I can't believe it. I never
Shut
put
the
two and
fuck
two
up.
together.
You're no better, Bernard. Shut the fuck up.
You've sure got an extremely lively imagination.
So what do you think she's going to say next?
Ever thought about a career in writing crime novels? But do you have evidence? This one sounds more like villain dialogue.
Ever thought about a career in writing crime novels, huh?
It appears that it's quite easy to predict what you'll think or say. Then if we apply that to this case, we can also think of a few places to look for incriminating evidence.
I love that she's giving us a little thumbs up. That's so cute.
You know very well that this case will not end until Pierre is found. So you will have him commit suicide
Holy
out of fear and shame to end the investigation for good.
I didn't think she'd actually say that word. I don't know why.
That way, you can also pin the blame for the overseas smuggling activities, the theft of the harbor's confiscated raw materials, and even the Lefebvre name on him. After all, dead men tell no tales. But you still want it to appear as if he had sent that last letter to Bernard, so you have to make sure he cannot be found until after Bernard has confessed to the authorities.
That's crazy.
To do that, you either will hide his body until you found an appropriate time to set up a fake suicide scene, or you'll dump it someplace where it'll be hard to determine the exact time of death. Submerged in water, for instance.
Oh, bro, bloated corpses are so gross. Ugh. Oh my god. Okay.
The location would ideally allow you to keep the body hidden for some time while also letting you keep an eye on it.
You could also keep him in a very cool environment to be handled later, or set a fire to make it look like he had been burned himself to a crisp. Damn, okay, Lynette and Ether are kind of going crazy here. An example of such place may be somewhere on your own boat or underneath the waters near Lubidu's harbor. I'm gonna guess
There
this
are
one.
only so many options to hide a person's time of death, after all. As long as the Phantom investigates each of the possibilities in turn, they'll surely find Pierre's remains. Especially since, as the prime suspect who will now be taken into custody, you will no longer have the time to move him, or set up a fake suicide scene to cover up the murder.
How absurd. And on what grounds will you order my arrest? Don't think for a second that your spouts of nonsense will amount to any kind of real argument. After all, I'm...
Elodie Lefebvre!
Let's go! Sorry, Lenny looks so good here. Are you kidding me? Look at Lenny. Look at Lenny. Look at him. He's mad. He is furious. Sheriff looks good, great too. Oh my god. Sorry, that Lenny face is like, whew. That Lenny face is so good.
As the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, I hereby declare you as a suspect in the case. If you have any objections, you may raise them later during interrogation.
Chevreuse, Lenny, you're here too.
That's right. We received a message from Lumidu's harbor that you were going to investigate the Humane Society. We didn't expect to run into you at such a critical moment.
Lenny, oh my god, you will not believe what this guy has been up to. And this girl. They're crazy, Lenny.
While at the harbor, we noticed something else extremely interesting. Apparently, you often used all kinds of excuses to swap your shifts. And if one were to match the times of your shifts to the activities of the Humane Society and those of certain foreign ships, they'd find them to be an exact match.
That's just a coincidence.
Oh, boo-hoo, that's so convenient for you.
Yes, I'm sure you have already thought of a dozen different ways to explain away the suspicious activities. But as far as evidence goes, that should be enough to warrant taking you into custody.
Don't worry. If it turns out that the guards are still unable to find any evidence after all this, Lynette and I will do everything in our power to clear your name.
They have no intention of doing that. It's the smiling for me.
Although judging by her reaction, I assume no follow-up from us will be needed.
The Lefevres were infamous for using disguise and infiltration to achieve their goals. Who would have thought that they would have planted someone within the guards?
Judging from the timeline, they likely arranged for you to enter the guards before the fall of the clan. But they probably didn't expect you to turn it to your advantage and use your job to save yourself during the purge.
Not only that, but you actively participated in the interrogation, arrest, and judgment of the Lefevres during their fall, thus clearing yourself of suspicion.
She almost got away.
You brutally and cruelly abandoned your allies as soon as they outlived their usefulness, just like a lizard cutting off its own tail in order to live. You've been doing this for years.
Don't fuck with Lenny and Lynette, bro. Especially if it's related to their trauma.
So you played me like a fool after all? Ugh!
Bernard, shut the fuck up. The only thing Elodie said right is who the fuck asked.
What was that word you used? Ally? You think that someone as foolish as him is worthy to call himself my ally?
Okay, Ace Attorney with culprit breakdown.
They were worthless scum. All of them. Not just Bernard and Pierre. But those Lefevres too. They always just saw me as a tool. I lost all my chances of a normal life just because I was born into their lot. Not only that, but because they wanted me to become an undercover agent. They stripped me of my name, too.
Oh, give me a second. I think my food is here. Never mind, my food's not here yet. I'm still hungry.
I had to live in constant fear of them while they were alive. And even once they were gone, I had to continue to bury my heritage and my name. Always worrying that their enemies would come knocking at the door. Do you know anything about what I've been through over all these years? My life as the last Lefevre?
Oh, boo-hoo. Yeah, a bit. Traveler, you're so funny sometimes. There's a hint of drama in the voice of the suddenly agitated Elodie. It feels like her anger may be part of some kind of bluff.
I don't, and neither do I.
She's winning the IGGA for no one. Oh my god! We're throwing her who asked back at her. I love that. No one asked about your past. You can save that speech for the trial.
Are you for real? Aren't you a Lefevre victim too?
Don't fucking use that on Lynette. Watch your tone.
Elodie, you're the only one still living under the shadow of a name.
Oh my god, Lynette, you're such a badass.
That's enough. Keep your hands where I can see them and do not resist arrest. If you have more to say, save it for the interrogation room.
Let's go.
What a joke. What a joke. Hey!
Is that a bomb? I thought she was gonna pull out a gun.
Don't come any closer.
Hello?
What's that?
Uh-oh, Lynette, get behind me. This device seems a bit odd. The small device that Elodie took out appears very crude, as if it's made out of paper mache.
Know what this is? I've secretly planted loads of explosives in the Humane Society. Just one step closer and whether they're cats, dogs, or just unlucky human employees.
What the hell?
They'll all be blown up into smithereens.
But she's like ticking the box for every detective culprit cliche ever. I love it though.
Surely you bunch of goody two-shoes won't let that happen, right?
What the hell? Assist Lenny in deceiving Elodie. Launch a sneak attack on Elodie while she's distracted. Persuasion. We're literally playing D&D. Help Chef Risk imitate Elodie. Intimidate Elodie. Isn't it obvious? Friendly aid can sometimes affect the result of these checks. Your current check bonuses will be added to a randomly drawn number. Let's go! Let's go, Lenny! Okay. Oh, wait, you want me to roll 15? Oh, this is okay. Oh, +8, so I just need to get a 7 or higher, right? Let's go! Let's go! That was pretty much a nat 20.
I can understand how you feel. Like you, we are also victims of the Lefebvre clan.
Look at him fucking lie. Look at this fucking liar.
But if you were to endanger innocents now for your own gain, the public anger towards the Lefebvres would only rise to a boiling point. And the families of the new victims would be dead set on exacting revenge on you.
And what of it?
I'll be your hostage, Elodie.
Did you guys see the look in his eyes when he said that? Oh my god, Lenny, you're so hot. Sorry. Okay, be professional.
What?
Don't do this, Lenny.
Thanks for your concern, Traveler. But we need to end all of the hate and violence arising from this clan once and for all. I'll raise my hands and come over slowly. I promise that I'm completely unarmed.
I'm watching you. Don't think for a second you can pull a fast one on me.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Just keep your eyes on me. Don't look away.
Okay. He's not talking to me. I gotta chill. Yeah, let's go! Elodie fixes her gaze on Lenny and she's struck by a hard blow from behind. Get her ass. Oh, Bunny!
So I was right after all. It's easier to deal with the person causing the problem than the problem itself.
They made this quest for you. I was just happy to be investigating alongside Lenny and Lynette. That was like so much fun because I like what we had to do at the Mirrorpede. This is another level. Lenny being like, I'll be a hostage, and us being like, Lenny, don't do this. Oh, I love this quest. Oh, what about that device she had?
This is it. Looks like it's just a toy.
So she really was just bluffing. Well, yeah.
Guess that's probably why she suddenly flipped and knocked out Bernard. He probably knew that there were no explosives at the society.
You did great, Lenny. Oh my god. You're a natural at this. You fucking liar. She also pretended like she had a villainous breakdown, as if she had no choice but to kill to escape her life.
Well, given that she never even showed her face to Bernard and Pierre, I had my doubts that she'd have gone to the society in person to plant explosives.
Thank you for your help, everyone. I'll take them back for thorough questioning.
This is the
and find someone
longest.
better to take over the Humane Society. I might need a few statements from everybody. Would you be able to come with me?
This is the longest hangout route I've ever played, I think.
If statements are all you need, can Linny provide them on my behalf? I still need to go back and explain some things to the crew. I also had an appointment with the Traveler before we got interrupted.
That's true. Our tea time is very important. Oh, seems I already forgot. You mean when you said I could stop by at your place? What did she say again? I don't want to lose here. I'm gonna do the mechanic just because that's what the game wants me to do.
A lot has happened since
No,
then.
I'm
referring to when I
sorry.
invited you over for some tea and also to spend some time with Bonnie.
I'm sorry, Lynette.
Once I'm done talking with the troupe, I'll take Bonnie home and make a nice cup of tea. You'll be able to find us outside of my door.
Oh, good job, everyone. They're just fucking dead. They're just dead. Hey, Linny. You did great. You did great, Linny. That was so good.
You must have spent a record-breaking amount of time in serious mode today. I can't remember the last time I've seen you like this. Is it because of a special someone?
It's because of you, motherfucker. There are still a few things I'm curious about. How did Pierre get recruited into the scheme?
Based on information that we found before, imitation synth was first circulated on a small scale in Fontaine before becoming a large-scale smuggling scheme. I'd assume that the first offerings of imitation synth came from what Pierre made in his early days. But since he was not experienced with running a clandestine operation, he was soon discovered by guard Elodie. Elodie saw the opportunity to make a great profit in his work, and perhaps even the chance of making a new life for herself, so she decided to cover his tracks. She started writing to him in Bernard's name, using what evidence she had compiled and the promise of enormous profits to blackmail him into cooperating with her. Unfortunately for her, she ran into Lynette. Even though my sister doesn't like to focus too much on a regular day, serious mode Lynette is one of the most perceptive people I've ever known.
That's true.
Still, all of that thinking really saps her energy. I need to go give some statements on her behalf, so I'll leave the recharging to you.
Okay, no worries. I'll take her out for some cake. You did great, Linny! Also, good job, Chevrolet. Perfect timing.
You can leave the rest of this to me. The other guards will be joining me shortly. Don't worry, they won't have another chance to escape.
There are still a few things I'm curious about. How did Elodie get her hands on the raw materials?
The materials have many other regular uses outside of being used to make imitation synth, so they're not immediately subject to being confiscated or destroyed.
Are you gonna do all the other routes? I mean, of course I am, but I'm wondering if I should do it in the stream or not, because they usually take like an hour for each route, but this one's like super long, so we'll see. I might do one more.
The harbor would usually just seize them for some time while the customs paperwork is filled out and approved. If approved, they'd be let through, and if not, they'd be returned to sender. Elodie probably used her position to replace a portion of the shipment with something else before sending the whole shipment back to sender. Given that the foreign merchants who sent in the shipments were probably working with her in the first place, they likely just never reported the difference in what they sent and what they received. We will, of course, continue to investigate the rest of the details of this case. Now that we've caught Elodie, figuring out the whole scheme should just be a matter of time.
I love that I can tell that the... Bye, Lenny. Give me a kiss. Mwah. I love that you can kind of tell that... You can really tell that the people writing for Fontaine were, like, super excited to write all of these crimes. It's so cool. But yeah, I might do, like, one more route, and then I'm going to take a lunch break, so you can go then, Astra. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
Black tea and a cute kitty. Truly the best combo for standby mode.
You are a cute kitty!
Want some?
Cup of tea, please. A cute kitty, please. No, Bonnie! I love you, Bonnie.
I see she's already starting to snuggle up to you.
About Elodie's case. Are you not interested in any follow-up developments from it?
Not at all. Information is indeed very important. But if you were to try to collect every piece of information you come across, your efficiency would actually decrease.
That's true.
Plus, if you just think about it, what sounds more fun? Writing a statement or enjoying a tea party?
The cute kitty.
Great answer. That'd be my pick too.
The thumbs up is so cute. This is a Lynette exclusive animation. It's really cute.
Had we not run into that case, we could have spent the entire day like this. But now, I'm running low on both time and energy.
The key isn't how long you spend in standby mode. With quality time, you should be able to recharge more quickly.
You're right. I can sense it. I'm recharging very quickly at the moment.
Oh, her and Kokumi would get along really well. I still have a question though. When did you start to suspect Elodie?
Something about her rubbed me the wrong way since the very beginning. But to be more precise, it was probably around the time when I saw Bonnie try to get away from her.
After you arrested Bernard? I didn't get to talk to her there at the end. Back then, Elodie tried to get close to Bonnie.
Elodie tried to get close, but Bonnie deliberately dodged her. Maybe Bonnie had tried to evade her before at Pierre's base. Or perhaps Bonnie just instinctively knew that she wasn't a good person.
Cats can tell.
Not everyone who likes cats is a good person. But if cats like you, you're probably alright.
Fair enough.
Humans tend to overthink things, but cats rely on their instincts, and they're pretty sharp. I mean, just look at Bonnie. She took a liking to you the moment you met.
Ah, cats just like me, Lynette. Aww. Look at that! Oh my god, this is adorable! Wait! Oh my god, that's adorable. Hold on, I took a screenshot of that. I'm gonna save this because I will be drawing Lynette because I want to change the thumbnail. That's so I love that. That was like probably one of my favorite hangout routes ever. Like obviously other than you know because of Linny. That was so much fun. They went all out for that, and I really appreciate it. As Lynette deserves. Yippee! Yeah, okay, we got one of the primo ones. Okay. We have 5 routes. Can we... Oh yeah, there is an alternate. Okay, there is an alternate there. Let's, ending hints? Before the case can be broken, the situation seems to have changed. Okay. I want to see what happens. Before you do the next route, check DM. Hehe. Hold on. Hi, Rev. I love the fixing glasses one. You know, you know how to get me. I kind of hate you for that. It looks so good. I'm mad. Hi, Rev. Silver glasses, likes turtlenecks, hides whether they have an Adam's apple or not. Good for them. Good for them. It looks so good. Thank you, Astwa. You should draw them more. In fact, they should just be more. They should just exist more in general when you draw. I can't talk. Give me a second. Okay. When you said you forgot Rev was missing, it made me go, I think I should give more of a shit about them. I mean, I never said that, like, Rev is, okay, I think you know this. You're not Upid. Rev is not missing in my universe or anything. That's not what I'm implying. It's just basically Key being like, if Rev shows up again, Key will put everything in his power to make sure Rev is forced to face him after what happened last time. Key got annoyed because Key didn't really get a fighting chance. Key was like, you know, bedridden, and then Rev tried to pull a quick one on them. Why am I taking the... I could just dive down. I'm Upid. If Key can find them. Key will know. No one can pass through the rift without him knowing anymore. I will give him that authority. I mean, he kind of has to, because of the safety, you know? Oh, I can talk to Lynette! Okay. I can talk to Lynette. I didn't get to talk to her last time. Okay. What's wrong? Something on your mind still?
It was that obvious.
Oh, my food is here. Give me a second.
Well, even though it didn't feel like Bernard was lying, after talking to him, I'm getting an even stronger sense that something's not quite right.
Lynn. Hi. Hi, sweetie. If Key can catch them? Oh yeah, I don't know. I think he will have trouble catching them. If you hear me chewing, that's because I'm hungry. I think he will definitely have trouble catching them. We should do some rolls if that ever happens. It's just that, I'm not gonna allow Rev to be in my universe without Key's knowledge anymore. If I know that Rev is there, then Key's gonna know that Rev is there. Because the only way an OC can interact with someone, the only way an OC can exist inside of a universe is if they interact with someone, right? So yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. This is my chicken, please don't try to eat it. It also has cheese in it. You are lactose intolerant. Okay, I'm just gonna have it on auto while I eat.
We investigated so quickly that perhaps we've missed a thing or two along the way. Let me activate deduction mode and consider things again from the top to see if we can find anything new.
Deduction
Is
mode!
there still anything unresolved or strange that we should try to consider?
She has a deduction mode. That's really cool, actually. About what we found in Poisson, about Bernard's letters. There's an unexplained part in the operations of this trafficking ring.
Well, we've discovered that Bernard is responsible for the trafficking, while Pierre deals with supplying the goods. Is there something else in this scheme that we're missing?
Ah, okay, you want me to do the deductions? Listen, I just got my chicken, bro. Okay. Handoff? Oh, he's not voiced. Okay. We've already proven that Bernard and Pierre coordinated their handoffs by passing floating barrels to each other on open stretches of water. Bernard can be compensated for his work after completing a shipment. No suspicious record would be left as long as he receives the funds as an individual rather than through human society. According to Chevroux's investigations, Pierre can be formally reprimanded for his synth-related research, and can no longer get any materials from the Fontaine Research Institute. Okay. They always communicated in writing, and all of those letters have been burned, so we can no longer confirm or trace anything. Any past member of the Lefebvre family would probably have been a number of connections outside of Fontaine. So... I guess this? I'm so smart. Oh, shut up, Ether, shut up.
There's no need to rush. Let's see if we can find any other suspicious points about this case.
I'm hungry, okay, that's my excuse. About what we found in Poisson. About Bernard's letters. Oh, right, was it the letter?
Bernard claims to have received a letter last night from Pierre. In the letter, Pierre stated that he had gone into hiding. Is there something wrong with the letter?
The Lost Cat Bonnie, the letter's delivery method, I guess. Regardless of whether he sent it anonymously or secretly delivered it himself, it's no longer something we can follow up on. The letter didn't mention Pierre's hiding spot, although it makes sense that Pierre wouldn't want anyone to find him. That's true. Bonnie had already been on the loose for a few days when we found her yesterday morning. That means she was already broken free when the letter was written. I guess... If the point of the letter was to tell Bernard to get on his guard, then why didn't it also warn him about Bonnie?
If Bonnie had imitation synth in her body, then she was a liability that had to be recovered at all costs. But if she wasn't carrying anything, then it would have made sense to tell Bernard not to worry. And thinking about it, Bernard only attracted our attention in the first place because he came to look for Bonnie. Could it be that the person who wrote the letter also knew nothing about Bonnie's whereabouts? Or they had a separate goal entirely?
About what we found in Poisson. Probably, I'm eating.
The Marechaussee Phantom found Bonnie and the Lefebvre pendant at Pierre's residence. That was the beginning point of our investigation.
The end of Lefebvre. The Lefevre family is infamous in Fontaine, and even their innocent scions have become targets of revenge. But Pierre just carried the pendant with him as if it was an ordinary piece of jewelry. The pattern on the pendant is proof that the owner is an illegitimate. Okay. Bonnie? I guess it's the gold. Pierre became a key suspect in this case because of a suspicious cat and a suspicious pendant.
Why would he leave such an obvious trail for us to follow when he took so much care to not leave any traces of imitation synth in his home?
Yeah, that emblem is like a dead giveaway. Good job, Lynette. I pet your head.
Perhaps we are now closing in on the truth.
Okay, let's go. I love this part. Okay, let's go.
Now behave, and follow me to the interrogation room.
Ow! That hurt. Ow!
Thank you for giving us check bonuses. Oh, wait, we can skip it.
Something else you need for—
Huh?
We can skip! That's very inconvenient, thank you.
What was that word you used? Ally?
Can skip again. Does it just skip until we get to a part where we haven't gone to yet? Okay. Persuasion, try to convince Elodie to surrender. Launch a sneak attack on Elodie while she's distracted. I want to do intimidation with Chef Ruth. Okay. We have to roll a 9 or higher. Yes! I'm so good at this.
Do you know what would happen to you if you were to run away now? The entire Special Patrol would be out hunting for you day and night, to the ends of the world!
And all of Fontaine would know that a spawn of Lefevre still lives among them.
Once word of that gets out, all the factions in Fontaine would be after you. But if you throw away the device now, I'll still count that as turning yourself in to the guards. Would you rather go back with me now and wait for a trial? Or wait for your enemies to find you and subject you to the same interrogation techniques that your relatives were once infamous for?
No, I can't.
I love that we have options to go about this. This is like so fun. Even though it's Lynette's hangout quest, we get to do stuff with the other characters. Nice. Haha. Bonnie's so cute. Bonnie's just the cutest. Oh, right. Okay.
Ah, so you do remember. Yes, I invited you to come over to our place. Once I'm done talking with the troop, I'll make a nice cup of tea and bring Bonnie to wait for you outside.
Oh, baby. I love Bonnie. Is this not gonna be the same result? Did we, like, need lesser hearts or something? Like, how would I make her more upset? Because, like, we've just been doing an investigation this whole time.
Black tea and a cute kitty.
It is the same. Oh, then we might have to go through it manually. They call her Robo Girl! Robo Girl's rest and relaxation. That's so cute. Okay. Let's do this one more time. I don't know where I would have to... Did I have to fail the roll? Did I have to let them get away? I'm guessing that I have to fail the roll. That's hard. Oh, this is tricky. If it's like luck-based. Okay. We have to let her get away, right?
Now behave, and follow me to the
Ow! That hurt.
Okay. Ah! Okay. Yeah, okay. You can leave Bernard's interrogation to the guards. Let's first rescue the animals at the Humane Society.
Is everything really over? I still feel like the relationship between Pierre and Bernard is not as simple as it appears. Also, I've had this strange sense that something's off the entire time we've been on the case. And it has only gotten worse.
Uh-oh. Oh no!
I've still got nothing, and I'm nearly out of energy.
Don't force yourself. Just leave it to Linny and the others.
Alright. I'll stop thinking about it.
That's
for now.
crazy!
At the very least, we've made it so that no more animals will suffer like those poor animals did.
The heart just went down
That's
really fast.
what I hope.
No, she's just like me, actually. Oh, Bonnie.
Let's go to the Humane Society and see if there are any animals left that might still need our help. Before my energy for today completely runs out.
She's just like me. They saved the kitty. Oh, and that looks so pretty here. Okay. Thank God that was fast. We already got 2 endings. I'm probably gonna play this by myself in my own time later because I want to see how every single role could have gone. Basically, I'm like super curious about that. So, oh wait, this one leads straight to an ending. This one leads. Oh, that's probably why the storyline was so long because there's only one more storyline, and this one leads straight to an ending. After successfully persuading Lynette, the situation seems to have changed. Okay.
I wonder what my dear sister Lynette is doing right now.
Missing me to death,
I'm sure.
Yeah, sure. Shut up. I miss him. I want to eat. Let me just chew my food real quick. Hope you're doing well, Astula. Are you eepy? Let me know if you're getting tired. I want you guys to hear my chewing noises, so I'm just gonna mute.
I didn't like that. Was I using it wrong? Maybe if I just...
Skip button is coming in clutch, I will say. Oh, maybe it's this one.
Back to the drinks reception.
I mean, clearly you don't want to go. You could just...
Nope, I said it was your decision. I'm not gonna waste any more energy dragging my feet.
I'm glad.
Besides, the drinks reception is technically part of the job as an official publicity event. So, if I bail on it...
Sorry. But also, I'm glad that we left most of the decisions to the Fatalometer. That was super fun.
I might get sued for breach of contract, and that would be a huge pain in the butt. One other thing. Do you want to come with me? If you're free, I mean.
Sure, then you'll at least have one friend there. Hopefully that'll make it more bearable.
Thanks.
Aw, sweetie. She's so cute. That was so fast! Oh, wait. Hold on, are we on the right route? Let me check first. Oh, no, we took the other route. Oh, okay. I want to take this route first, so then we can be done after this.
I didn't like that.
Like after the last route, we can be done because this one's fast.
Huh?
If it was that urgent, someone would have come looking by now. That applies to both the troop and your body's owner. That's an awful answer. What the hell?
What you're saying is, since nobody's come looking, I can just keep hanging out with Bonnie for a bit longer?
I mean, if you don't know what the truth is, this sounds really innocent and nice, but in hindsight, knowing what the truth is, this is so irresponsible.
Is that really okay?
Aww. Persuasion, where Bonnie seems to like that idea. Oh no, I failed!
Maybe not. Besides, if someone does come looking for me or Bonnie and finds me just chilling out with a cat, I feel like I'd have a lot of explaining to do.
Okay, yeah, well, let's try that again. Let's try that again. I want to know what the picture looks like for that ending. Okay. A forgotten cat. They call her Robot Girl. That's so cute.
Huh. I didn't like that.
Okay.
Clearly, there's some design flaws. Let's see. Huh?
Okay, we have to roll higher.
What you're saying, is that really a...
Okay. Please give me... Yeah, let's go!
You make a good point.
We can't just stick around here for a while, so that if anyone does come looking for you, they'll find you.
Okay, well... Assuming Bonnie hasn't strayed too far from where she went missing, there's a chance we might bump into her owner in either the Steambird offices or the restaurant. So, stick around here in standby mode? Yeah, that suits me.
If you're going to go into standby mode, shall we find some cat food?
Oh, good idea. Bonnie's definitely hungry.
If we're getting cat food, shall we find some snacks for us too?
May as well. We could be here a while.
Well, since we got cat food and snacks, let's find a place to chill, I swear to God.
When I was trying to find somewhere I could space out earlier, collect my thoughts, I figured the cafe might be a good shot.
Ether just wants to slack off with her, that's kind of funny.
Alright then. Plan of action, spend the whole day spacing out. In standby mode.
Oh, that's so cute! Doing nothing is the happiest day. I do think if anyone would have a route where they just do
This is
absolute-
no time for distractions. Seriously, you have a great magician standing right here. You don't want to miss the best part, do you?
Can you let me have a moment with your sister, you fucking weirdo? I'm kidding. But, of course, this is adorable. This is the cutest thing. I love seeing Ether and Lynette hanging out. And I love that if there's any character that would just have a route where they do absolutely fuck all, it's Lynette. Oh, they get primos from that! Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Let's continue the last route. This should be the last one, I think.
There you are, Lynette! Where did you disappear to? Leone and I have been looking everywhere for you. Wait, where did you get the cat?
Oh my god, if you talk to the NPCs at Hotel de Board, one of the maids are like the biggest Lynette fangirl ever. It's the cutest thing. They're like, oh, I almost dropped a cupboard full of glass stuff on Miss Lynette's beautiful face. Oh, that would have been unforgivable. And I'm like, same.
I found her outside. Do either of you happen to recognize her?
I don't think so. Could belong to one of the guests, I suppose.
Fair enough. It was a long shot.
So sorry we couldn't help you, Lynette.
Don't worry. We'll ask around for you. Leone's probably just being forgetful.
Maybe you could leave her with us. We'll take her to the reception desk and see if they know anything. And if not, we'll just keep looking.
Sure. I would help, but I'm a little preoccupied. Sorry to dump this on you.
It's no trouble at all. We're happy to help however we can.
Also, if it's no trouble, I mean, could we maybe get an
My
autograph?
God.
And maybe a photo too?
Yeah, she's a fangirl.
Leone, you can't spring that on her now. Not while she's working. At least wait until the event's finished. One last thing, Lynette. Director Mary is looking for you. We'll take the cat to the front desk now. See you later.
You're so popular.
I'm not usually required at these kinds of events, so I don't even have an event mode. Alright, guess I'd better go see the director.
Hold on, let me try to find a maid. Oh, never mind.
Choreography, a masterpiece of mise en scène, and the performance, oh my, groundbreaking, dripping with je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais
My
quoi.
congratulations on another magnificent show, sir.
I love the phrase je ne sais
I, for
quoi.
one, was
It's so
particularly
annoying.
captivated by the clearly allegorical narrative undertones. The Lost Puppet shines a spotlight on the impact of technological advances in our modern society, particularly as they relate to changing modes of emotional expression and the challenge of mutual intelligibility.
Hey, Astra. Rev is French, right? I would say they have a certain je ne sais quoi. I love that phrase. Please don't kill me.
Such a pioneering work, so far ahead of its time. A tour de force of avant-garde theater.
By who, Rev?
I can already see the headlines of tomorrow's newspapers. They will certainly be singing your praise, Director Mariyu.
But it was a group effort, of course. To convey emotions in a silent show with no facial expressions, the entire cast had to go above and beyond. Everyone truly outdid themselves.
Speaking of the cast, Jillian, another strong performance from you in Director Mariyu's latest show, as of course we've all come to expect from your numerous successful collaborations to date.
That's quite an overstatement. I've only ever played supporting roles.
On that point, you stated a few months ago in an interview that you were looking to secure a leading role in your next show. What led you to the decision to stay in a supporting role this time around?
We had a discussion about this, and while Lynette hadn't previously performed in an acting role, we were blown away by her talent, and she was a perfect fit for this character. Quite simply, this was the role she was born to play.
Exactly. I was honored to share the stage with her. Lynette worked extremely hard in all of the rehearsals, and she's an incredibly talented actress.
Oh, Lynette. She's so cute.
Hey, Lynette, where have you been?
Were you in standby mode? Some reports say you switched that state to recharge after a show.
Ah, method acting, of course. Such a compelling portrayal of a mechanical puppet could only be achieved by an actor who lives and breathes their role even while offstage.
Those seemingly stilted movements were in fact an inspired portrayal of the character. The ostensibly bad acting, in reality, was the product of supreme acting skill.
Oh my god, hi Maku. You missed the first route of Lynette's Hangout quest. You gotta play it. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. And you get to do D&D rolls. It's so much fun.
Oh, I went outside and there was this cat there, so I played with the cat for a bit.
She just wants to hang out with her cat. I respect it.
We've long heard that you are a kind soul, as well as an incredible actress. No wonder your debut performance has garnered such popularity.
This show looks on track to break box office records for avant-garde theater. Lynette, any words for the fans?
Not really, no.
I believe Lynette is trying to say that the act of performance itself is the actor's true means of connecting with their fans.
Oh, I see. Lynette, any comments?
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly.
But don't you want the fans to know how you're feeling right now, after the hugely successful opening of your first ever show?
That's true.
I'm sure the fans would love to learn a bit more about you, too.
How interesting.
We're getting to roll again. Let me roll inside. Observe Lynette to see how she's doing. Oh my god. I barely passed out, holy shit. Lynette's voice was so deadpan during the interview. She sounded like an auto-reply bot. Hold on, Lynette has only just finished performing. She needs to recharge.
Oh, really? I'm so sorry. How rude of me.
Huh? Wait, you're the traveler who's been in the news! Did you come to see the show?
Wow, are you a fan of Lynette too? Do you have any comments on her first performance?
I'm dating her brother. You and Lynette struggle to keep up as you're both inundated with questions. Oh, poor baby! I want to wish you whined. She sounds just like me and Astra when we have to do something that we don't want to do. We're like, let me leave. Let me go back to eat. That's so cute.
Yeah, it's just... Turns out, even with you here to share the load, I can't cope with this stuff, even in Tea Party mode.
Tea Party mode?
It's a power-saving mode for participating in conversation at tea parties. Normally, I can get through an entire conversation just with, oh, that's true. And how interesting.
She's just like me. I love when Lynette's doing her little thumbs up. That's so cute. I can imagine her and Linny giving each other thumbs up when they're like performing. I heard my name. After having to socialize with a lot of people, Lynette was like, I wanna go. And I was like, that reminds me of Astra.
But at a tea party, I'm not normally subjected to a constant stream of questions.
She said stream! She said stream!
The consumption of that interview just now was 3 times as much as the average tea party.
It's a big adjustment, give it some time. Maybe after a few interviews you'll get used to it.
I think I'd rather pray that I never have to do it again.
Lynette, Director Mariyu would like you to join the group photo to commemorate the successful opening of the show.
A group photo?
It's just the members of the troupe, along with Maloney and Corentin. Everyone's waiting for you.
Alright then. See you in a minute.
Lynette and Cyril go to do the
3, 2, 1, smile.
My thanks to each and every one of you here for your help in making The Lost Puppet a success. The group photo is already being printed as I speak. You can collect your copy from the first floor after the drinks reception concludes. May it serve as a reminder of this fabulous performance every time you see it.
Mariyu! Get over here. Let's have another drink. There's a few things I need you to glance over for me.
Wait, that means the reception still isn't over? I have found a way to get myself out of these situations.
I thought the group photo was the final hurdle.
No, just leave.
Well, at least there's no more people hounding me with questions. I just need to find somewhere to switch to standby mode, and the time will fly by. I hope.
Oh, that is just like me, low-key. High-key, not even low-key. Okay. She is fluent in you speak. Farina? Farina? Girl, what are you doing here? Oh my god. Farina? Okay, hi. Hi, baby.
Hotel de Bour's Ile Flottante is as wonderfully sweet as ever.
Have we ever? Well, I think in Kaya's Hangout Quest, there's a fancy cameo. They should do more Archon cameos in Hangout Quests. Farina, you managed to get an invite to the drinks reception too?
Traveler? Lynette?
Oh, wait, hold on. What do you mean, managed to get an invite? I'm an expert in the dramatic arts. Of course I was invited. Naturally, people wanted to hear my comments on the emerging art form that is the masked mime show.
Oh, then what do you think?
Remarkable, and a very worthwhile artistic endeavor, exploring a character with no lines or facial expressions who can only communicate how they feel through their movement. Your performance was beyond anything I could have imagined, Lynette. Clearly, this was a very suitable role for you indeed.
You got a compliment from Farina. If you listen closely, you can hear some small noise coming from the back of the corner. Huh?
Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing. Please go on.
Oh, basically, I think I'd give it a positive review overall, just not as gushing as the crowd downstairs.
So, you thought they were pretty over the top too?
In fairness, it's normal to bring along some vocal supporters for publicity when a new show opens. But still, this was something else.
Are they gonna be friends?
Then again, I'm no specialist in avant-garde theater. Maybe I'm just not well acquainted with their review criteria.
Oh my god, wait, that would be the cutest friends. She even said avant-garde in the same tone as Lynette did. Oh, I want Lynette and Frida to be friends, please.
Or maybe it's because I came to the show with some preconceived expectations. I did happen to see the original draft of Mariu's script a while back.
What original draft?
Oh? He didn't show it to you? It must have been a few months ago. He came to me to get some advice from an experienced performer's perspective, and then asked if I could write a few reviews of his new play.
I'm gonna be honest, Daddy's getting sleepy as fuck. Okay, go eat then. I told you can go eat if you want to eat. This is the last route anyway.
I had a lot on my plate at the time, so I had to turn him down. I only skimmed a few sections, but they seemed quite different from the final version. I can't say I remember the plot, but I don't know. The protagonist just seemed more complex, I guess, especially in the last two scenes. Still a mechanical puppet on the outside, of course, but she seemed to have more emotional depth on the inside.
Bye, Astra. Thank you for coming.
Emotional depth?
Oh, I'm just thinking aloud here. Don't take it to heart. Besides, a script and a play are two very different beasts. There are so many fine details to consider when turning a story into a stage production, more than most people could imagine. Especially with a novel art form like a masked mime show. I'm sure Mariu had his reasons for the changes he made. Change of topic. I see you've escaped the crowds to seek refuge on the second floor. Fame can be overwhelming at first, can't it? Perhaps you'd benefit from hearing about the experiences of a veteran celebrity such as myself.
No thanks, I'm good. Pretty sure this will be my first and last time in this situation.
Hey, at least let me finish. I have top tips on dealing with belligerent reporters, slipping away to hunt down snacks during the intermission.
Tell me everything.
Oh, that's so cute.
First, take a seat, mon ami.
Mon ami!
We must partake of Hotel de Boer's fine desserts as we talk, lest they go to waste.
That's so sweet. As soon as snacks are there, she's interested.
That was very educational.
Education wasn't the word I'd used. They didn't even mention acting once during the whole conversation.
I expect most of the people downstairs have left by now. Time to grab my copy of the group photo and get home.
Okay. Oh wait, it was upstairs. Oops, my bad. Oh no, it's not. What? Oh my god, I hate this. Oh, is it outside? Oh, it's literally right there. I'm stupid.
The photo must be in this envelope right here. It's finally over. Thank you for sticking around for so long. If it wasn't for you, I don't know how I would have standby moded my way through the last few hours.
Any normal person would find an event like this stressful, but enough to warrant Lynette leaving halfway through? When you left the event midway, what was the real reason? I mean, if you really don't want to talk about it.
It's fine. It's just... It was such a minor thing.
No, what is it?
While I was on stage, there was a moment when I felt like someone was looking at me. It was only for an instant, and I didn't even see who it was. But somehow, I knew it was a look of contempt.
I'm gonna take a guess here. I'm gonna guess that it's the supporting actress that was getting complimented but then got overshadowed by Lynette.
I got a vague sense of it again during the reception. Like someone was giving me an evil stare. But I couldn't figure out who it was.
Recall something regarding Lynette. Few people would manage to hide their feelings from Lynette at close range. Whoever it was, they must be a good actor.
Normally, I'm used to lurking in the shadows on the stage and spying on other people. So, it was strange. Feeling like I was the one being spied on this time.
Could it have something to do with the original script Farina mentioned? Maybe someone's jealous of you. You did land a leading role in your first show.
Or someone just took a disliking to me for no real reason. Sometimes you can like one person and dislike another for equally pointless reasons. Anyway, it was just a momentary stink eye, that's all. Nothing for you to worry about.
Okay, well if you're not worried, I'm not worried.
Okay, problem solved. I'm gonna take this envelope and go home now.
Okay. You heartless puppet, you've ruined this work. Hand over the Jesus Christ! Okay, no chill. It's her. It's the blonde. What? It's a threat letter.
You have destroyed this work of art. Step down from the leading role at once. Based on the tone, I'd say threat letter is right.
This is far more serious than a momentary stink eye. We need to get to the bottom of it. Examine the letter to see if anything's amiss. Think back to what happened on the first floor when we were taking some time out. An sealed envelope contained a group photo, the threat letter, and some photographs of Lynette from during the show. This was definitely meant for her. The letter demands that Lynette step down from the leading role, but stops short of saying what will happen if she doesn't. Neither of us recognize the handwriting. It's messy, perhaps to cover their tracks, or maybe this person just has messy handwriting. Think back to what was happening on the first floor. There were a lot of people downstairs at the time. Any one of them could have slipped a letter into an envelope. All the envelopes were left on the table on the first floor, but nobody was tasked with watching them. I could ask reception, but it's unlikely they saw anything.
I don't think we're gonna find any more clues here.
Shall we ask Miryu what he thinks of "You have destroyed my work of art"?
Yes, let's. Whatever destroyed means, it could have something to do with the original script that Farina mentioned. Also, I'm gonna have to ask you to stick around a while longer.
Yeah, of course. I'm not letting you do this alone. Lenny would kill me.
I can't believe how well the whole Lynette's debut acting role thing worked out. Even the avant-garde box office is lapping it up.
How could I ever have doubted you? If you hadn't stuck to your guns and kept sending those invitations, this opportunity would have passed us by.
See? I told you. All the times she'd refused in the past were all the more reason to keep inviting her, because it turns into a big talking point.
Ew. Bro, no means no. Fuck off. What the hell? Ew. Sorry, I know this is not that kind of conversation, but leave her alone. Fuck off.
Can you imagine if you'd gone with Jillian? You'd have been lucky to get half the ticket sales you've ended up with.
True. Well, Jillian still needs to get a few more productions under her belt.
Do you have a moment, Director Mario?
Oh?
Ah, if it isn't the star of the show! We were just talking about you. Hmm? Oh, and is that the legendary traveler with you? I'm guessing you're here to discuss the show with the director? Oh, you're a talented and hardworking actress, Lynette. It's no wonder you're getting such rave reviews.
Genuine expression seems a bit unnatural. Despite his effusive words, the look in his eyes suggests that he's not—
I'll leave you artists to discuss your work in peace. Mariu, make sure you give your star performer and her friend your full attention.
I certainly will. Lynette carries the fortunes of our entire troupe on her shoulders.
Who is that?
Mr. Maloney.
Maloney?
An investor or something, I think. I've never asked him.
Ew, his name sounds gross. I don't like that.
So, what can I do for the two of you? I'm afraid I'll have to dash soon as I'm meeting some friends from the newspaper. Otherwise, I'd love to stay longer.
We won't take up too much of your time.
We heard that the original script for The Lost Puppet was quite different from the final show. I'm kind of curious to know what the protagonist was like in that version.
Oh, well, this is a surprise. I didn't think you'd be interested in that sort of thing. It's not uncommon for scripts to undergo major changes as they're being brought to the stage. But I'm afraid there's not much to tell you in this case. The protagonist has stayed the same from the beginning to end. A mechanical puppet with a bumbling body but a sensitive soul. A stranger in time who doesn't belong. There's no doubt about it. You are the protagonist, and the protagonist is you. The success of one is the success of the other, and that's what made this show an artistic triumph.
Sorry, you've lost me. Can you put it in plain words?
All right then. Delving deep in the search of core truths is the job of an artist, after all. You shouldn't give your attention to early drafts of the script, Lynette. All it would do is sow confusion where you already have clarity.
I don't like this guy.
The current script is the final version because it is the best version, and your performance best brings that script to life. Why, if it weren't for you, I doubt any audience would give our show the time of day.
If everyone is happy with Lynette's performance, then how do you explain this letter?
What letter? Oh my goodness!
Mariu appears surprised. Mariu's expression is hard to read, but the surprise seems genuine.
Destroyed this work of art? Really?
Well, Director Mario, any idea who might have written it?
No. Who on earth would write such nonsense?
He found it in the envelope containing the group photo. Could it be someone involved in the production?
Absolutely not. Without Lynette, this show would be over. Everyone's hard work would go to waste. No, there's no way that this is someone from the troupe.
Well, is there any way Lynette could lie low until this blows over?
Yeah, maybe Jillian could fill in for me for a while.
What? No way, out of the question. The protagonist has to be played by Lynette. Jillian can't... She's just not what the audience is looking for.
Mario's attitude suddenly changed and became a bit strange. Mario's eyes are darting around and he's lowering his voice. Well, maybe if you weren't such a scumbag to Jillian, this wouldn't happen.
Huh? I've got it. It's a competitor. Yes, this letter must be from a competitor of ours who's trying to get under Lynette's skin. You can't lie low. That's just what they want you to do. The moment you step back from performing, they'll put their rumor mill into overdrive and drag us through the mud. They're just waiting for their chance to kick us while we're down.
Oh, Lynette, Lenny's gonna kill you.
A competitor? Really?
Definitely. Those lowlifes. Slander and libel are all their specialties. They drown out the truth with a flood of misinformation, and they stop at nothing once they get riled up.
You sound very familiar with their methods. Do you have a particular suspect in mind?
There's so many of them out there. Fame always seems to attract haters, no matter what you do to try and keep everyone happy. But don't worry, I will get to the bottom of this. Stay strong, Lynette, and keep up the good work on stage. I have to go and meet my friends from the newspapers now, but rest assured, I'll be discussing countermeasures with them.
So, a competitor, huh?
Do you think that's it?
I kinda doubt it. We've dealt with those types before. Usually their goal is to steal our venue for their own show, or to cover up a scandal by planting a story to divert public attention. But at the moment, I don't think anyone's got a reason to do any of that stuff. Let alone pull a stunt like this. A threat letter is quite extreme. Besides, when I felt that evil stare, I'm pretty sure it was coming from somewhere backstage. So that rules out a lot of people.
Maybe it's not her. Maybe it's not the blonde woman, but maybe it's someone who likes her?
I'm actually more concerned about Mariyu. When I mentioned Jillian, his reaction was pretty unusual.
So you noticed that too?
Especially since Maloney mentioned that the initial plan was to cast Jillian as the lead.
Maybe Jillian knows something about Mariyu that we don't know.
Sounds like there was an original protagonist as well as an original script. I should probably go talk to her.
You know where she lives?
Yep. She told me she lives in the Fleuve Sandra.
She lives in the Fleuve Sandra? That's rough, buddy. That's rough, buddy. That's basically Poisson Light. Okay, we're going to the Fleuve.
Everyone say hi to my cat, Rain. He's just sitting here with me. He's a good kitty. Hi, baby. Hi. Say hi to Chad. Lay down. Ow. Do do do. Do 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 do.
I already miss Linny. Linny was so awesome in the first round, Maku. I'm really glad I decided to stream this. I would have never expected that they would go so hard on a 4-star story quest. I mean, I should have, because they do for several of them, but still. It caught me off guard. Where's the Fleuve Sandra again? Oh, I can just teleport down there. Oh. Big stretch.
Lynette? What are you doing? You're not welcome here.
Oh, she clearly doesn't like her.
I've been to the Fleuve Sandra plenty of times before. This is the first I'm hearing about me not being welcome.
Things are different around here. You might be used to a crowd of bootlicking morons fawning over you wherever you go, but
Holy
not down
shit.
here. We know what you are.
Maybe don't out her like that, but sure.
Bootlicking morons?
She's got a bone to pick with you, I guess?
I don't know. I've never met this kid before.
This kid.
Gina, stop that! Go home now!
Oh, that's from, it must be her younger sibling.
Jillian!
No buts. How many times do I have to tell you? That had nothing to do with Lynette.
Jillian looks level-headed.
If you don't leave right now, I swear I'll never invite you to one of my shows ever again.
Jillian! I... Just because Lady Farina speaks highly of you, it doesn't mean you're all that.
Oh, you are eavesdropping. After a few more choice words from Gina, she storms off.
I'm so sorry. Gina's always been a strong-willed child. That's why I never let her visit me at work.
It's okay. I have younger siblings too, so I get it. She's in her rebellious phase, huh?
This makes Lynette sound way older than what I think she is, because like in my mind she's like 20-ish. Because she has I have the impression that she's a younger sibling. When she says rebellious phase, that makes me laugh.
If you let angsty kids get you riled up, they'll drain all your energy. So don't worry, I won't let it get to me.
He's like, I'm past my emo phase.
Well, this situation's a little different in this case, but still, thank you. So, what brings you to the Fleuve Sandra?
We came to see you. Can we talk about the original protagonist?
We heard about it from Maloney. He said you were originally supposed to play the lead.
Maloney, huh? Of course he couldn't keep his mouth shut. I'm sorry. I never mentioned it because Director Mariyu was very clear that I mustn't let any of it affect you.
Circumstances have changed. Lynette received this letter.
What's this?
Jillian appears surprised. On Jillian's face, there is panic and doubt. The sender thinks that Lynette has destroyed the show. Could it have anything to do with the original script and protagonist?
I don't know, who would do something like this?
Don't be scared, Jillian. Just tell us what you know.
Okay, I'll try. It's true. I was originally cast as the lead in The Lost Puppet. I've worked with director Mariyu many times before, but only in minor roles. The audiences and critics never had much to say about me. Nothing terrible, but nothing amazing either. A few months ago, Mariyu started working on a new show, so I plucked up the courage to ask him if I could take the leading role. He was hesitant, but he agreed to let me try for the part. We did a few rehearsals, everything seemed to be going okay, but then...
There's been a change of plan, Jillian. The leading role will now be played by Lynette.
Lynette? But she always turns these things down, doesn't she?
And that's why we cannot afford to waste this opportunity. Jillian, I understand how you must be feeling. But Maloney and myself have to do what's best for the production as a whole. Next time, the lead will be yours. I promise.
I was incredibly disappointed at first, but I also know full well that I don't have Lynette's star power. Without Lynette, how could we ever convince people to pay money to go and see a masked mime show? And if the show was a flop with me in the leading role, how would I answer to the director and the rest of the cast? Then, I got to meet you on stage and found that you're really down to earth, in a way that not many celebrities are. You were kind to everyone, and your performance wasn't bad. Whatever disappointment I had left at that point, I certainly wasn't about to take it out on you.
By wasn't bad, you mean it wasn't great either. So, I'm guessing Mariyu changed the script to simplify the protagonist, make her a dumbed-down version of the mechanical puppet that I could actually play.
It did make some changes to the script, yes.
How do we get our hands on the original draft? Who currently has it?
Jaik, one of the other actors. He likes to collect Dr. Mariyu's old drafts because he hopes to be a director himself one day. He also lives nearby. I can arrange for you to meet him at the tavern.
Makes sense. I always see him talking to Mariyu. Alright, see you at the tavern then.
Okay. Oh, right there. After waiting at the tavern for a while.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Jillian brought me up to speed on the situation. I'm here to help however I can. Here, this is the script you're after.
It's very rough. It looks like he was constantly editing it. It's practically unreadable.
That's always the way with pen and paper drafts. Even the final script is full of last-minute changes by the director. There should be a cleaner copy of the original script in here somewhere. Sorry, it's all a bit mixed up. I just grabbed the whole stack of paper since I was in a rush.
No problem. Now activating search mode. I'll go through one page at a time.
She has a search mode. Okay, let's get through these. Investigation notes, investigate original script, investigate official script. I want to see the original. Let's see what differences there are between the current version of the Lost Puppet. Let's roll for investigation! Oh, we failed. Okay. Okay, I can't fail this one. Please give me 7 or higher. Okay, let's go. Hey, Cookie Sweetie! Hi, welcome to the chat! My name is Kiko. My favorite character is Linny and Venti, and I'm playing Lynette's story quest, and it's been so fun so far. We're currently at, like, the second last route, I think? I'm enjoying this very much. I like the perception roll mechanic. I'm AR35. Oh, good for you! Who's your favorite character? Let me know. In Act 4, the protagonist loses the ability to dance due to wear and tear in her circuitry. There's a note saying some cursory movements to get the point across will suffice. The audience's focus will be on the fancy set and the extras. I failed the perception roll though. Can I roll again? Okay. Let's roll. 15? Okay, give me 10. Not 20, let's go! Not 20, let's fucking go! Why can't I ever roll a nat 20 when I'm actually playing a campaign? Mariu's name does appear in some earlier clippings, but mostly in articles bemoaning a series of lukewarm receptions for an experimental art form, and empty seats and an avant-garde play despite critical acclaim. Tell me about it, Kiko. Shut the fuck! Oh wait, no, you also don't roll nat 20s. That's funny. Maku, our luck is ass. I did roll a critical fail. In more recent years, there have been many reports praising Mariu as a forward-thinking director, one of the greatest of his era. The articles are written by a variety of authors from an eclectic range of fields. Corentin and Amori are the most prolific authors. I failed a roll! Damn it, how am I supposed to keep going? Okay. The original script is the most important. Okay. Maybe we can succeed this one. Okay. Give me a 10 or higher. Thank you. The photos from recent years show fancy venues and polished sets, but the earlier photos show much humbler venues. The cast list shows that in recent years, Mariu has collaborated with many famous celebrities, but their acting chops are disputed. And Melanie is listed as an investor. Well, that doesn't say anything about what happened. Mariu's original script, okay, with amendments. It's practically illegible. I just need a 7 or higher. Ah, my luck is bad with the original script. Nope, I can't read this at all.
The protagonist returns to the ruins where she began and performs a dance in honor of her deceased companions. She dances until her joints have rusted stiff and mechanical parts are falling from her body. Yep, that's not something a novice could hope to pull off after just a few months of rehearsals.
The basic plot is the same. She loses the ability to dance due to wear and tear in her circuitry, but there's much more emotion behind the scene, the memory of her former companions coming to peace with her life. The simple set and solo performance mean the lead actress has to carry the whole scene herself. It's a much more demanding role than the final script.
Frankly, I think that the original script is much better, and the original lead is the best fit. Jillian, shall I go tell Mariu to put you back in the leading role?
Huh?
What? Are you serious? But the next show is at the Opera Epiclese. It's such a huge opportunity.
Lynette's performed there before.
But not such a rare one for me, though, right?
Right? That's what I'm saying.
That's different. This isn't you as part of a magic duo. It's a chance to star as the main character in a show. You'll reach whole new heights of fame.
I don't think she wants that kind of fame.
Fame in small doses has its perks, but
too much and I'll get overloaded.
And she likes that Linny, like as a duo, Linny can deal with all the frivolous stuff, and she can hide behind Linny.
But if you play the lead, the fame will be yours, and I get to be free. Sounds like a win-win, don't you think?
It'll never work. There's no way Director Mariyu or Maloney would ever agree to it. The set for Act 4 would need to change, as would all the marketing materials. And that would mean asking Maloney for a lot more Mora. Changing actors at the last minute is just too risky. If anything went wrong, it could bankrupt the whole troupe. Plus,
Not my
Maloney's
problem.
friends have already published a ton of articles saying how this is the role that Lynette was born to play. No one else can play the protagonist now. If Lynette quit the show and I took her place,
It would destroy the reputation of Maloney's friends. None of their future articles would have any credibility.
if Lynette left, they'd sooner stop the whole show than let me take her place.
Stop the whole show? But all the people in the troupe, months and months of everyone's hard work would all be for nothing.
No wonder Mariyu will say anything to try to keep Lynette on board. Convincing him to replace the lead actress won't be easy. Contemplation. Is there any other way? Let's roll for contemplation. I didn't notice before this would be today, so I didn't prepare, but I'm here now. Hi, Amarantha! Sorry, I have been playing for a bit. You can catch the VOD after I'm done, but the first round of Lynette's Hangout quest was crazy. It was crazy! I will have to put content warning for animal cruelty. Like genuine animal cruelty, but it's very, very, very good. And I freaked out a lot, and Lenny was there, because of course. But Lenny wasn't why I was freaking out at it. It was an amazing quest. And we also have this mechanic, because Lenny made like a little hat that can make decisions for Lynette when she doesn't want to make a decision. And it basically works like a D&D dice. If we roll high, the highest we can roll is 20, the lowest we can roll is 1. And then if we have someone assisting us, we can have like bonus points. And we're about to roll. This is an example. But we're using cards instead of dice. Okay, we have 3 check bonuses, so that's a total of 9 points, and we need to get to 15, so I just need to get a 6 minimal. Nat 20, let's fucking go! Woohoo! Judging from these documents, Mirio's true intention seems to be... I have an idea.
You do? What is it?
All we need to do is this. You explain your idea to the group.
That's a bold plan. I'm in.
Of course she is.
You know, it's a little crazy, but it might actually work.
Let's go.
No way. It's not worth taking such a huge risk just for a chance to be in the spotlight.
Jillian, you said before, whatever disappointment I had left, I wasn't about to take out on you. In other words, that disappointment is still there, but you've kept it bottled up inside. Be honest. You still hope to play the leading role, don't you?
Of course she does.
But the thought of putting so many people out just for my sake?
You think they'd be put out? That's not how I see it.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are some people in the troupe who probably agree that Jillian's the best, fit for the role.
Jillian, you were more dedicated than anyone during the rehearsals for the original script. We all saw how hard you worked for this role. And I think you know that unless we decide to make a stand here, the path we're on is only going to take us further and further from our dreams, all of us. So take it from me, you would not be putting us out. Not one bit.
Whether the plan succeeds is up to you.
You guys... Okay. Let's do it. I will play my part.
Yes! I knew you'd come around. All right, I'll let the rest of the troupe know and we'll start preparing immediately.
Wonderful. This solves everything.
She's so cute.
Wait, but what about the threat letter? Do you have any idea who sent it?
As long as we stick to the plan, I'll give up the lead role, so it won't matter anymore, right?
But surely you want to know who it's from. If they're out there and no one's keeping an eye on them, what if they come looking for you?
I doubt they will. It's supposed to be a threat, but they didn't even say what would happen if I don't meet their demands. Plus, the handwriting is kinda childish.
doesn't look like a professional intimidator to me.
Jillian's little sister, maybe?
Who knows? Maybe it was just a fan of yours having a moment.
A fan? Of me?
Maybe there's someone out there who really appreciates your talent, even in the supporting roles.
Contemplation. Could a letter be from one of Jillian's fans? Even if we don't roll, I'm pretty sure I know who this is gonna be. Talk about a crit fail. I don't think there's any solid evidence either. Your brain is so
It's getting
empty.
late. We should be leaving.
Huh? So suddenly?
Come on.
Lynette grabs your hand and leads you out of the tavern. You seem to hear a sound. You notice the faint sound of bobbing in the corner as you're leaving the tavern.
I'm such an idiot.
Sorry for manhandling you. You looked like you were seconds away from figuring out who sent the letter, so I had to act fast.
She manhandled me. Actually, I have no idea.
It was Gina, Jillian's sister.
Yeah, I thought so.
Just because Lady...
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Gina's
I knew it was her. Farina hasn't released her official review of The Last Puppet yet, which means Gina disobeyed her sister and secretly came to watch her at work.
I guess she must have snuck into the drinks reception and overheard our conversation with Farina. She idolizes Jillian, both as an older sister and an actress. And she watched as the dream role Jillian had been waiting to play for so long got snatched away from her by some amateur who's never acted before. To make matters worse, all the critics were hailing this amateur as a perfect fit for the role. And even Fontaine's former biggest star was praising her abilities.
It was too much for her to take. She wrote that letter in a fit of anger.
Yeah, and that pretty much sums it up.
Aren't you gonna confront her about it?
Like I said, getting angry at angsty teenagers is draining. Besides, if it was my younger brother or sister and they found out I'd been treated unfairly or had an opportunity stolen from me, they'd definitely do something far worse.
She's speaking from experience.
I was in Jillian's position once. Back when Linny and I were starting out, before we got famous, we just had to take things a day at a time. Doing our shows, slowly trying to build up our reputation.
What did I just say?
So I can understand Gina's frustration. Still, she could definitely use some pro tips on how to write a threat letter.
You wanna give her tips on how to write a threat letter? No wonder she's so hostile towards you. She must have been the one giving you that evil stare, right?
No, the way she looks at me is indignant, frustrated, but not malicious. Plus, she didn't even try to hide how she felt. Whoever was giving me that evil stare was backstage. Blending into the crowd at a drinks reception is one thing, but trying to blend in backstage, where everyone's on high alert waiting to be called on stage, would be a lot more difficult. We'll find out who it is before too long. In 2 days' time, at the next show, I think it will become very clear. On that note, guess I'll see you at the Opera House. Bye for now.
Bye! Lynette is so sweet. And she's so smart. That's one thing I realized. I mean, I knew she was smart. The House of the Hearth is the intelligence division of the Fatui. So I've always known that she was very smart, but this quest, like, allowed her to show that off, I guess. Because, like, you know, Lynette's not the kind of person to want to show off or go out of her comfort zone if she doesn't have to. So I really like that her hangout quests are, like, you know, forcing her to do stuff that she normally wouldn't do. I just wanted to get to know her better. Hi, Rain. Hey, sweetie. Oh, come here. Cuddle with me. Hi. Okay, you may go. Go to the Opera Epiclese. Opera time. I think I almost have the Fontaine maxed out at this point.
Over here!
you're here. Lynette and Jillian are busy getting ready, so please come with me.
Give me a second.
That puppet in the middle, is that Lynette? She's so pretty.
Aww. Oh, that's not Lynette though.
It's starting. Keep your voice down.
The protagonist, a dancer, has been abandoned in some ruins. She suspects it's because of a health condition with her legs, which has affected her ability to dance. But then she finds the other abandoned puppets who look just like her. Only then does she realize her illness is just a mechanical breakdown, and she is just a dancing puppet.
Wow, I thought it would be hard to follow, but in the end it was actually very clear.
Even though her face was expressionless and she didn't speak the whole time, I felt like I could really understand how the protagonist was feeling.
Act 2, The Journey. Some mechanical puppets believe in a myth. At the end of the world, there is a god of puppets who can turn puppets into human beings. Yo, Scaramouche! And so the protagonist and her companion begin their quest. But the myth is a lie, spread by someone with nothing but contempt for the puppet kind. Puppet kind! At the end of their journey, they are kidnapped, dismantled, melted down, and abused. That's awful. The protagonist helped her companions escape, but in the process became trapped under the rubble of a crumbling building. She closed her eyes and enters into a deep sleep.
Director Mariu really is a master of his craft. And so is the actress in the lead role.
I have a friend who saw the show on the opening day. They thought the critics overstated how good it was, but I gotta say, the protagonist is incredible.
Act 2 closes on a thunderous applause from the crowd.
I can't believe it's only been a few days since the last show. Lynette's improved so much. Just wow! I'm speechless. Words simply cannot do justice to the sheer excellence we witnessed from Lynette on stage today.
Your penchant for the hyperbolic strikes again, Amory. Clearly you weren't at a loss for words when you were writing your article. I saw you hand it to the journalist. Trying to get your critique into the papers the moment the show is over, are you?
Well, you know how it is. The early critics get all the readers. Wouldn't you agree, Mariu?
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? The first half was a huge success. Even I could tell the acting was top tier.
My apologies, Mr. Maloney. Please excuse me for a second. I need to have a little talk with my actors.
Oh, very well. Hey, while you're at it, this might be a good time to talk future collaborations with Lynette.
Idiot. Stupid.
Are you guys sure this is gonna work? What if Director Mariu pushes back? We're already halfway there. We can't back out now. All we need to do is stick to the plan.
What is this plan that you're so intent on hiding from me,
Director Mariu, I thought you were talking to Maloney and the critics.
Korantan and Amory have both finished their articles. I went to greet them as a mere formality, but you seem to have availed yourselves of my absence during the first half to defy me. What have you done? Was that really Lynette playing the lead role?
Well then, director, you saw through it.
Ta-da!
There you hears Lynette's voice behind him. Beside her is a protagonist.
Director Mariu?
Yay!
I was the one playing the lead role just now.
I switched costumes and masks with Jillian so that I could be the protagonist's companion and stay out of the limelight.
Lynette, why on earth would you do this?
You know my acting is amateur. The only reason I'm being seen as a pro, let alone a pioneer, is because you have critics supporting the show.
But out right now, there's a whole audience out there, and you have no hope of paying all of them off.
If they'd seen me in the leading role during the first half, they wouldn't be expecting anything more. But what happens now that they've seen Jillian in the role? If you force me to play the lead in the second half, they'll be wondering, why is the actress suddenly giving such an underwhelming performance right at the climax of the whole story?
Is it because she's not a good enough actress to play the role? Or is the director not all he's cracked up to be?
These are just some of the questions that will be on everyone's minds during the second half.
Ballsy.
And those questions will follow them out the doors of the theater after the show ends.
Do you think the critics will still have any credibility then?
There's only one way for you to save your reputation. And that's to keep Jillian as the lead all the way to the end.
Absolutely not. I'd sooner announce that we're having technical difficulties and need to stop the show. If I keep Jillian as the lead for the second half, what do you think will happen in the curtain call when she takes her mask off? Everyone will see that we've changed actors. What will your fans think? They're only here because of you, and what about all the critics who support you? If we get on the wrong side of them, it'll be the death of the whole show. There'd be tickets to refund, fines to pay for breach of contract. The whole troupe's hard work would go down the drain. Don't you see how much this would cost us? You can't just take a job on a whim, then abandon your responsibility the moment you don't feel like doing it anymore. You're playing games with other people's hopes and dreams.
I said, it is not that serious, man.
Director Mariyu, please. You're not being fair to Lynette.
Actually, Jillian, he's half right. I did kind of take this on a whim. But my responsibility here is making sure you get back the role that belongs to you.
I guess part of that responsibility lies with me, considering I badgered you into accepting the job.
Where did you come from? Excuse me, can you give a guy a wart? Hi, Winnie. Hi. Look who finally decided to show up. Did you bring all your props?
Sorry I'm a little late to the show. Work's been keeping me pretty busy lately.
No, I know what you're up to.
Linny? What do you want? Do you think you can snap your fingers and make all my problems magically disappear?
That might be a little tricky, but instead, I could make something else magically appear.
The contract?
Draft complaint letter,
Oh my god!
contract to your legal fees, reimbursement for the tickets, and an advance on the penalty fee for breach of contract.
That's so fucking funny.
Mr. Mariyu, I'm stepping down from the leading role, regardless of whether you choose to cancel the rest of today's show.
I'm telling you, you can't do that to Lynette. Lenny will kill you.
If you do suffer unforeseen financial losses from this, you're free to seek damages as per the contract. And if you want to file a lawsuit, there's a draft here that you can use if you need it.
Here's the lawsuit tutorial, he said.
I can't believe this. You're literally handing me a lawsuit against you with a straight face.
That's my boy.
Of course. All this Mora, it's a pittance to you, isn't it? Must be nice to have the luxury of prior success and fame. Look at us. We're huge stars. One minute we want to go on stage. The next we feel like backing out of the contract. But that's okay.
Me when I
We're
yap.
famous. We can afford it. You have no respect for other people's work. You're treating other people's hopes and dreams like a big joke.
Yeah, they're kind of in the wrong, but also they're funny as hell, so I don't care.
You don't give a hoot how much this show means to other people. You don't even care that the whole production might have to shut down because of you.
That's not true. I do care. And I'm under no illusion as to how much this show means to you.
Oh, brilliant deduction there. Of course it means a lot to me. This is my show. That's the only reason I asked you to be in it in the first place.
Really? Then why do your eyes tell a different story? The way you look at me, it's full of contempt.
Oh, it was him.
Almost as if I've destroyed your work of art.
Ah, so it was Mariyu. He's the one who was looking at Lynette with contempt.
What? I would never think that.
A couple days ago, I asked some associates to do some digging for me. I was interested to know who else you invited to play the lead apart from Lynette. Surprise, surprise. Turns out that all the other famous actresses you asked either had prior commitments or weren't a good fit for the role. They all turned you down.
Then you're so reliable.
And I would have turned you down too, if not for an unlikely set of coincidences.
You didn't send those invitations because you were looking for a better actress than Jillian, but because your investor wanted a big name in your show.
Being
right?
with Linny and Lynette at the Opera Epic Class is super nostalgic.
Director Maryu.
It's clear as day that Gillian is an outstanding actress, but fame was the key factor, and that was one thing she didn't have.
To get Maloney on your side, you chose to make Jillian the understudy, and then look for an opportunity for her to take the lead.
But then Lynette actually accepted your invitation, and her acting debut was sure to attract attention.
I bet you were torn at first, weren't you? Do you stick to the tried and tested formula? Choose Lynette, use her celebrity to get the critics on your side so that you and your investors can line your pockets?
I love... God, Linny's making such a good face here. I need you guys to look at this face. I'm gonna DM it to Amaranza. Amaranza, look at this face. I am going insane. Holy... I know this is not about him, but also I kinda don't care. Hold on, give me a second.
Or do you choose Jillian, so that you and your longtime collaborator can stage the show of your dreams, the original, unedited version of The Lost Puppet?
Whether you did it because of pressure from your investor or because you were lured in by the money, ultimately, you betrayed yourself by choosing Lynette.
Oh, I didn't. I didn't betray myself.
You mentioned prior success and fame earlier. But you're a well-known director yourself, with countless works to your name. Wouldn't that make you successful too? Or maybe, deep down, none of your current achievements really count as success to you.
Right now, you have an opportunity to send Jillian onto that stage and perform the second half as you always imagined it, faithful to your original script.
I love it when the twins corner someone. It makes me happy.
Your work would be displayed for all of Fontaine to see, in its true, perfect form.
Did you say... perfect?
Will you keep pursuing a kind of success that you don't even value at the cost of your own artistic integrity?
Or will you act now before Maloney and the critics can protest and make your dream come true on the stage? And Jillian's dream. In fact, the dreams of the whole troupe.
The whole troupe?
Director Maryu? Actually, most of the money Linny brought came from us. We all chipped in.
We've worked with you for many years now. Your troupe has been here for you all the way from the empty theaters where we first performed to the Opera House today. We watched as you slowly started down a path you used to despise. The path of powerful connections, drinks receptions, backdoor deals with critics, and collaborations based on fame instead of talent.
But this is just a temporary measure. I did it for the good of the troupe. And besides, this is how the whole industry works. Everyone else is doing it.
Yes, we know. Back when you started, you had to bite the bullet and do these things to keep the troupe afloat. But then what happened? You began to embrace these methods more and more, becoming so reliant on them that every show you put out is overhyped by the media, and every script you write is edited to suit some celebrity's needs. Surely you must have noticed what's happening. While we've been performing at bigger and bigger theaters with each show, the applause is getting quieter and quieter each night, and the criticism from people who've seen the show is growing. Maloney's friends are sycophants. They don't care if the audience is disappointed because the show doesn't live up to their glowing reviews. They praise the things they like and skirt around the things they don't.
Look, I know everyone's using the same promotional tactics, but does that really make it okay?
Well, it's just a stopgap solution. As soon as I've made enough Mora, I'll stop. Things will be different next time. I promise.
Next time, huh? Yeah. Next time, you won't use your connections. Next time, you won't pay off the critics. Next time, you'll let Jillian play the lead.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. If you make some money once, you'll want to do it again, then again. Slowly but surely, you turn your back on your dreams.
Speaking from experience,
I won't
Lenny.
turn my back on my dreams any longer, Director Mariyu. Never again.
Me neither.
Persuasion, today's the day, it's time to look your dreams. Imagine if you failed. Imagine if you failed this roll. Okay, 5 plus 8. I love how Lenny's support has like so much because he's the one threatening them. Okay, 5 plus 8, 13, plus 5, 18, plus 3, 21. We only need to draw 1. There's like basically no way out of it. Let's roll a nat 20 while we're here. Oh, close enough. Let's go.
I had dreams too.
Act 3, amidst the rubble. An unknown period of time elapsed before a group of mechanical puppets finally cleared the rubble, freed the protagonist, and reactivated her. They told her, "You have to be buried here for thousands of years. The mechanical puppets now rule the world." It turned out that the puppets who had started uprising were none other than the protagonist's companions, who she had rescued all those years ago. The protagonist was now revered as a hero by all puppet kind. The mechanical puppets ask the protagonist what she wishes for, but she only wishes for one thing.
Huh. The plot here seems a little different from what the reviews said.
The protagonist wanted to return to the stage, so the puppets replaced all her parts with the latest ones available, built her a grand opera house, and summoned a huge audience.
And in the end, she forgot herself amidst the applause and cheers of her fellow puppets.
Hey, no spoilers! Huh? Wait, hang on, that's not even what's happening. The set has changed back to the one from the first act.
Oh, Archons. Please let this work out.
No need to be so nervous, Director Mariyu. We only told you Lynette would be quitting the show to get you to make a decision. We wanted you to believe that this show would have to end after today, no matter what you decided. But in truth, I believe that if we choose our words carefully, there's no reason we can't get Maloney to come around and keep the show going.
Lenny is putting his experience at fooling people to work. You two should definitely keep in touch.
You really thought this plan through. But I'm not upset about what you've done. What's worrying me now isn't how Maloney will react or whether the show will get cancelled. It's the audience. I've always thought the original script is better, but will it move them like I've always hoped? What if people only came to see the show for Lynette? And because of the reviews, what if they don't really care about the show at all? It feels like I've been hiding inside my safe little castle for too long. And now I'm scared to go outside the walls and hear what people really think.
We're right here with you. We'll watch it to the end.
You're so... I want to hug him. He's so cool. Act 4, Amidst the Ruins, original script. The protagonist rejects the other puppets' offer of new parts and a grand stage built in her honor. Her only wish is to see her companions again, but she is told that they have their lives for the... But she is told that they gave their lives for the revolution. Okay, Franz. Their bodies lie buried in the ruins where they first met. The protagonist returns to the ruins alone, to where her journey first began. She performs one last dance before the graves of her companions. Her circuitry burns out, her parts come loose and fall from her body, but she keeps dancing and her body completely shuts down. It has taken her thousands of years, but at last, she had finally found a reason for dancing.
Wow. Okay, this ending is much better.
I love how they brought back the set from Act 1 and gave it a whole new meaning. What a fantastic twist.
Look at how good Lynette looks! She's so cute! Look at her little cat ears poking through!
Time for the curtain call. It's the moment of truth. The applause continue after I take off the mask. I could always leave my mask on. You will never know.
She's so cute. I mean, I think I would know from the cat ears. Furinia! Yeah, we met Farina at the beginning of this quest.
This is what fame looks like, when it's truly deserved.
See?
Jillian, you were amazing! Syra was tearing up when you did your final solo dance.
Well, so are you.
Really? I was so nervous. My legs felt like they turned to jelly.
What looked like an actor unsteady on her feet was in fact a poignant expression of the protagonist's frailty in her last moments. Or whatever.
Oh no, I can't take any more of that.
Hey, Mario! What the heck was that? Why wasn't Lynette playing the lead?
Our articles are already going to press. You better have a good explanation for this.
It was my...
Hey now, it was all of our...
Hold on. The decision was mine, and mine alone.
There you go.
They had nothing to do with it. If you have any concerns, gentlemen, then please direct them to me.
Marry you? So it was you? Well then, I trust you'll have no objection to me pulling the plug on this production.
Time for Act 5.
Director Mariu, Mr. Maloney, what on earth is going on? Why was Lynette not in the lead role?
He's fucking lying again! Take a shot every time Linny pulls up his acting chops in Lynette's story quest. Fucking liar. This is why I love him so much. Okay.
It took a lot of convincing from me for her to accept the role, and I had to turn down some big work opportunities to come and watch her performance today.
Look at how good he looks.
You have some explaining to do.
Hello, look at him glaring. I love it when Linny glares like that. He looks Hi, Linny.
Lenny, it was all his idea. Marry you. Explain yourself.
Wait. Linny, as a matter of fact, this was a piece of performance art. In this play, the masks and costumes serve to obscure the differences between characters, and by extension, the difference between human and machine. We took that idea to the next level with an actor swap, blurring the lines between one performer and the next. So it's in service of the ambitious artistic goals of the production.
I love it when Lynette does her little thumbs up. It's so cute.
What?
It's similar to deceiving the audience in a magic show. We employed this technique as a means of breaking the fourth wall.
Please don't say that. That makes me nervous.
It allows the audience to more intuitively understand the cognitive dissonance felt by the protagonist as a machine trying to reconcile the notion of her humanity. The audience's experience mirrors the protagonist's own confusion and becomes part of the artistic performance itself.
She's just pulling shit out of her ass. I respect it.
Hold up. What is this?
Oh, I see. Well, bravo, Director Mariu. You even had me fooled.
That's probably more because you just don't really understand avant-garde art very well, Lenny.
Maybe so, maybe so. Well, perhaps it went over my head, but I'm sure our experts here saw the whole thing coming a mile away.
Yeah.
You must have worked it out by the end of the first half, surely. Mr. Amory, I just heard that you managed to write your review after just the first 2 acts.
I'm sure that will help Director Mariu by setting future audience up for the future surprise twist at the end.
Yes, you're right. Director Mariu and I are old friends. You should have said something. Then I could have played along even better.
Yes, well, to deceive the audience, you must first deceive your closest companions. I have to give credit to Lynette and her experience in performing magic. That's what inspired me to take my art to the next level.
Imagine if she looked directly into the camera while saying fourth wall. I would shit my pants.
You mean your show was partly inspired by Lynette's background in magic? Well, in that case, I'll have to plug it to everyone I know.
Oh, Lenny.
Unfortunately, I think Mr. Maloney is going to cancel the show.
Cancel the show? Mr. Maloney, is this true?
So fucking fake.
While I accept that deceiving the audience in the manner you did certainly has artistic merit, this is not a magic show, and we don't want our audience demanding their money back.
A very valid criticism, and one that I humbly accept. If that happens, we're prepared to reimburse and apologize to any audience members who weren't satisfied with the experience.
But based on their reaction today, I think that what most people want to see is an excellent piece of theater, not a celebrity cameo.
Plus, it looks like Jillian is better than me at delivering the excellence people want to see. I'm sure audiences will be very happy with the show if she's allowed to stay in the leading role.
Some reviews have said that Lynette gave the performance of the year. What did you say Gillian's was the performance of a lifetime?
Maloney, I believe there should still be time to tweak my article. From the look on Lynette's face, I think she's being sincere.
Oh, one other thing. We managed to get a meeting with Lady Farina earlier. All thanks to the Traveler's reputation, of course. Anyway, she agreed to write a review focusing on Jillian's performance and the quality of the show as a whole. She promised to give her honest opinion. And I'm sure today's audience will be discussing her performance too. There's sure to be a variety of opinions.
But what about you, Mr. Correntin? How would you rate this show?
Oh, I mean, art at its finest, clearly. But I'll have to give it some thought before I decide exactly what to write.
Linny just always rolls on that 20 when it comes to deception and charisma. Also, Linny actually probably doesn't know the greatest deception that took place recently unless somehow Arlie found out and told him. What deception? What deception?
Oh, of course. Always good to put some thought into these things. Especially now, with a growing range of voices out there. I imagine competition for readers becomes more fierce when everyone's discussing the topic.
Corentin, Amory, let's go.
A sour-faced Maloney leaves the critics in tow. You and Lenny excuse yourself to leave. Oh. Where's Lenny? Where's Lenny? Let me talk to him. Oh. Lenny's not here! What? Well, how are you two?
Gina? You snuck in? When? I thought I told you no visiting me at work.
Deceiving the heavenly principles? That's true.
I'm sorry, Jillian, but I had to come.
Don't worry, she was being a good sport about it.
Do you think this move needs jazzing up a little? Not jazzing up, per se. I was thinking more like break it down. You know?
French people are so funny. Hello.
Thank you both so much. Without the two of you, who knows how much further down that cynical path I would have gone. I always told myself that once I'd made enough Mora, I'd get back to doing what I loved. But somewhere along the way, I started to lose sight of what that was. Just like those critics with their dishonest reviews, I became all about the trappings of success, at the expense of the art itself.
At least you came to your senses just in time, and you've got an amazing group of talented people behind you.
You're right. Yes, I'm a very lucky man. Anyway, enough about my problems. What are we going to do about the threat letter that Lynette received? I've been looking into it a lot over the past couple of days, but it doesn't seem like it was one of our competitors after all.
Ah, yes, about that.
Lynette, do you have a moment?
Wait, you're Jillian's sister, right?
I'm sorry. Gina insisted on coming to see Lynette. I couldn't stop her.
Lynette, I'm sorry!
Lynette just shot me a glance. I think she's unsure of which mode to use in this situation. Performance. What's she talking about? Never heard of it.
Yeah, me neither.
Wait, but...
Oh, do you mean when we ran into you at the Fleuve Sandra? And you said some mean things to me? As I recall, you were only trying to look out for your sister. It was just a few words spoken in anger. Don't worry. Whatever it was you said, I've already forgotten.
Oh. I see. Well, it sounds like Gina knows what she did was wrong. Owning up to your mistakes and committing to do better in the future is what counts.
That's true.
I understand that feeling of wanting to stand up for your family when they're being mistreated. Really, I do.
I'm sure.
But next time, maybe consider a different tactic? Something you can pull off more effectively, and without arousing suspicion.
She did tell her to write a better threat letter next time. Alright, that's enough. Stop giving her ideas.
Got it. Thank you, Lynette.
Why do I feel like I'm missing something here?
Hey, here you are. I was wondering where you'd all run off to.
Great! Everyone's in one place. That makes this so much easier.
What's up?
What do you think? It's group photo time! We have to commemorate the debut of the Lost Puppet Director's Edition. Okay, everyone, we all have pretty awkward smiles on our faces in the photo from Hotel de Boer, so this time, no forced smiles allowed.
Oh, am I really not allowed to force a smile?
Is smiling tough for you?
I'll try, I suppose. I think I can manage.
I'll tickle you.
Lynette, Traveler, come on! You two should be right in the middle.
3, 2, 1, smile!
Aww. My line of sight was a little bit off. It's fine as long as your smile was genuine. Oh, that's so cute! Aw, I love Lynette. Okay, let's see. I think there should be one more route left. I like that one. I like that that one focused more on Lynette. Like we got a little bit lost in the sauce. Whoa, that was a lot of Noel. Hello? Like, the first one was, you know, focused on the family that kidnapped Lynette. But this one, you know, it gave Lynette a lot of room to shine. Okay, all we need to do is change here so we can finish it very quickly.
Thank you both so much. I always told myself, just like those critics
Hold on,
with
give me a
their
second.
dishonest reviews, I became all about the trappings of success, at the expense of the art itself.
Okay, at least you came to your senses just in time.
You're right. Yes. Anyway,
Okay, I'm gonna skip
enough
it.
about my...
See what becomes Noel.
That letter? I was the one who wrote it.
What?
Gina? So it was you?
Director, it's time for... Oh, okay. Weird energy here.
I think we came at a bad time.
Lynette, Gina must have been worried sick about me. I'm sure even she wouldn't do something so stupid if she was in her right mind. I'm so sorry. I promise I'll make it up to you somehow.
Jillian, no! This is completely my fault, and I'm the one who should have to bear the consequences. I got the wrong end of the stick and completely misjudged Lynette.
Shall we hear what Lynette has to say?
Well, since I haven't actually suffered any losses, seeking redress could be difficult. Maybe we could just let this one slide?
Really? Are you sure?
After all, Gina wouldn't be the first person to ever misjudge me, right?
He's like, I get death threats every other week. Mine aren't as bad as Lenny though. Lenny gets a lot of death threats.
True.
I bet he does.
In any case, I think we can all agree it was a misunderstanding and nothing more. No need to overcomplicate things.
But still...
I was wrong to write that letter. I should own up to my actions. Make it up to you in some way.
She seems pretty insistent. Kids these days are really stubborn. Wait, no, kids at this age are really stubborn.
If that's what you really want, then how about helping out backstage?
Huh? Backstage?
The crew could always use an extra hand. Plus, it'll give your older sister a chance to keep an eye on you. And stop you getting into any more trouble.
Thank you, Lynette. Really. Thank you so much.
The whirlwind of events is finally resolved. A few days later. She's Eepy! You're finally awake. The show's about to start.
Is it? I'm so much more at home here in the audience. I get to sit on a comfy seat, and I don't have to activate my energy-consuming modes all the time.
It sounds like Gina got more than she bargained for out at that backstage job. You gave her your supporting role. You gave her your supporting role in the play too.
Mary, you said she's a very promising young actress, and she has natural chemistry with her older sister. In their capable hands, the show doesn't need me to attract an audience anymore. Phew. Freedom at last.
You don't feel even a little bit disappointed? Fame was right around the corner.
Fame is more trouble than it's worth. I'd rather leave that side of things to my brother and the others. I'm happiest when I get to sit in a quiet place, watch them do their thing, and cheer them on.
Like you're doing now?
Yep, exactly like I'm doing now.
She's just chilling. Cute. Aww, look at Ether! Look at Ether's smile. He's so cute. I do think Ether is very, very fond of Lynette, you know, because she reminds him of a certain someone. Aw, this is adorable. A seat in the audience. Where there's someone performing on stage, there will be others clapping in the audience. I love her. That was fun! I really, really love Lynette's story hangout quests. I enjoyed both of the main routes. I mean, technically there were three like routes that you could do with Lynette, but one of the routes was literally just like you do nothing with Lynette for an entire day. Which is great, don't get me wrong. So yeah, I guess that should be all of it. I'm also really happy we did get to learn more about Lynette. I think Lynette is just, you know, how do I say it? I'm not saying that she doesn't care about what's happened in her past, because she literally jumped when she heard the family of the people who tried to kidnap her, but she probably wants to move forward from it. It's something that she doesn't talk about, and she still wants to heal from it, so I respect that, and I feel like that doesn't mean that she's traumatized any less. I don't mind at all that, you know, what happened to her wasn't highlighted on her. Like, yeah, Linny would probably be more stressed out in that situation. Because he doesn't want anyone else. He doesn't want that to happen to her again. Especially since Lynette seems to have no regard for her own safety. Mostly just because she doesn't really care. She's just tired. So, I can understand. And I'm glad that she's okay now. Like, she handled it a lot better than Linny did, who panicked and tried to do everything by himself, because of course he did. Typical Linny. But yeah, I really enjoyed Lynette's story quests, and I'm glad that it didn't take as long as Kave's actually, because I do need to lay down. I am quite low energy today. But yeah, thank you for coming to the stream. Let's see, do we have anything else coming up? Shiori's banner is about to end, I think, yeah. Yeah, in 3 days, Shiori's banner is gonna end. I'm probably not going to play Genshin until Arlecchino's quest comes out, probably? So that's gonna be a while. I might just hang out in Genshin, and I might do like drawing streams or a singing stream next month. But I do have a convention that I have to go to in May, and it will be con crunch time for me. So April is gonna be me trying my best to do merch and work so I can fund my con. And because of that, I do have a game in mind if I can make time to play that game, but I won't be playing any Genshin, at least until Arlecchino's story quest comes out. So next time we play Genshin, we're gonna see this motherfucker again. I'm not ready. Yeah. I really enjoyed Lynette's story quest. I love Lynette a whole lot. And I'm glad that she's so well adjusted. I read all of Lynette's story quest. I can figure out why she does like her little robot thingies. She has autism. I wish we got to see Fremine. I do wish we got to see Fremine. But if we get a Fremine hangout quest, we might get Fremine and Lynette interactions. Because in my head, Fremine and Lynette are like quite close. Fremine and Lynette are closer than Lynnie and Fremine because they're both introverts, you know? So, how much you have to complain seeing him again. I think I held together pretty well overall. Like, I had my moments. I had my moments freaking out when Lynnie was on screen. Like, can you blame me? It's Lynnie. But I think I was pretty okay. I think I pulled myself together pretty fine. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you for coming to the stream. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye bye.